It'd be like all officers, just, what do you mean dirt bed? Is that what you go tell the judge when you get before, is that?
Almost say.
To them out. They didn't give much of a hoot about it.
Thank you.
It's just where they're going to leave it. I said, well, leave it.
Oh, I know.
Granddaughter trip. Trip.
Yeah, the dean, it's like pushing the song part of the dean.
You can't move those very much.
We're not going to get into Chapel Hill.
I guess it's good.
His daughter plays with my daughter across.
How are you, Mr. Jones?
I'm old and slow and hot, but thank you for asking. Oh, man.
Go ahead, I'll get some water. You can get
Okay,
started.
we're good.
All right, let me turn this on right quick.
How you been, bud?
Good.
Man. This fast.
There's a stranger.
Getting ready to pick up or not.
All righty.
There's things that,
Getting some water.
I know you, there's
Oh,
just
shoot.
things that you're gonna find out. that
I didn't even see that sitting there.
But you gotta keep in mind, you did it too,
Oh.
you know, and you don't know me yet. You get away with it, but you still gotta keep your
No.
in mind.
Believe. I think that's what concerns me the most.
I'll show you.
We'll talk about it at the break.
It was easier sometimes for us. But they're smarter.
Well, everybody's gotten quiet. It must be time to start. I've got 7 o'clock on, that's PM, Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And this is August the 13th, and I hereby call this meeting to order. Let's rise, please, and have the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if we could bow our heads, please, we'll go to the Lord in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and for the many blessings that you've bestowed upon us. Lord, please continue to bless us and keep us. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to serve our town and its residents. Grant us wisdom to make thoughtful decisions, patience to listen to one another, and humility to put the needs of our community first. Lord, guide our discussions tonight and help us work together with respect, integrity, and a shared commitment to making Stokesdale an even better place to live, work, and to raise our families. For it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, I'd like to review and adopt the agenda. We had an opportunity to review any corrections, additions, deletions.
Mr. Mayor, I have none, and seeing as I hear none, I'm going to move that we adopt the agenda as published.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Foy. Mr. Landrith, any discussion? We'll vote. Mr. Rigsby.
Aye.
Mr. Foy.
Aye.
Mr. Landrith.
Aye.
Mr. Jones. And I am also aye. Item number 3 on the agenda, recognition of Stokesdale native August Howerton's accomplishments in educating North Carolina's youths. We're certainly very pleased for August to be here tonight. Mr. Foy?
It would be my honor, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. My honor, exactly. There is so much talent and great individuals that have grown up in Stokesdale, live in Stokesdale now. It would be impossible to recognize, everybody. But Miss August Howerton, I'm proud to call her a friend. The profound impact she's had on the youth in the state of North Carolina is remarkable, and the fact that she's done everything she's accomplished. Is not even 30 years old yet. She just turned 29. She's got just an unbelievable career lying in front of her and making such a difference. It's just remarkable. So with that, I was going to read some prepared comments and share more about Miss Howerton. Tonight, the town of Stokesdale has the privilege of recognizing one of our own, August Howerton, for her commitment to education and inspiring young people. August has deep family ties to Stokesdale. Her grandparents, Bob and Janice Simpson, are longtime residents and business owners in town. Businesses Mr. Simpson started with his father and uncle. August's parents are lifelong Stokesdale residents, Herb and Robin Howerton, and I know that Bob, Janice, and Herb are looking down on us tonight with a big smile, and Miss Robin, of course, is here. August is a Stokesdale native, 2015 graduate of Northwest High School. She went on to attend UNC Charlotte, where she earned her bachelor's degree in elementary education. This was back in 2019. August began her journey as an educator while student teaching at Shady Brook Elementary before accepting a fourth grade teaching position at Jackson Park Elementary in Kannapolis. She's taught there since 2019 and has made Kannapolis what she describes as her second home. Her dedication to her students and profession was recognized when she was named Jackson Park's Elementary 2025 Teacher of the Year. August also comes back to Stokesdale each summer to help teach Vacation Bible School at Stokesdale United Methodist. Her commitment to education has taken her well beyond the classroom. After traveling to Africa and experiencing firsthand the value of learning with other people and cultures, August continued pursuing opportunities to bring a broader view back to her students. In 2026, she was selected to participate in Go Global's NC Teacher Program, an international professional development and leadership program. She was also awarded the school system, the Kannapolis School System Teacher of the Year back in 25. Again, you know, all under the age of 30, just remarkable. So tonight, on behalf of the town of Stokesdale, I'm really proud to recognize August Howerton for her commitment to educating the youth and presenting and representing her hometown so well. August, congratulations. Thank you for what you do for your students and for what you do for the teaching profession. We also have a plaque for you, so if you'd like to come up. And guys, if y'all would like to join me.
Come on up here.
Thank you. Show this to you. It says, "The town of Stokesdale making a difference," presented to August Howerton, in grateful recognition of your exceptional dedication to educating and inspiring the next generation. A proud Stokesdale native, your unwavering commitment to academic excellence, servant leadership, and community service has positively impacted countless students and families. As the 2025 Jackson Park Elementary Teacher of the Year, the 2025 Kannapolis City Schools Teacher of the Year, and the 2026 North Carolina South Regional Teacher of the Year runner-up. I forgot to mention that part. In the Go Global Teachers Program. Just an array of accomplishments again before age 30. The town of Stokesdale is proud to celebrate your achievements and the difference you make every day. Presented by the Stokesdale Town Council, August 13th, 2026.
Thank you.
There you go.
Send her up on the seal and get a better picture for her.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, we were centered, y'all are over there behind the desk.
Yeah. I've never, let's get the mayor. Where's Steve? Come on.
All right, cozy up a little bit. There you go. Sorry, I got this. Reflection. Good job. Hang on, August. I'm listening. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I love that.
Very good. Recognition well deserved, August. We are very, very proud of you. Moving on to item number 4, review and adopt the following minutes. I'd like to move that we adopt the special call town council meeting minutes dated May the 7th, 2026 as written.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Rigsby?
Aye.
Mr. Foy?
Aye.
Mr. Landrith?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
I am aye.
And I am also aye. I'd also like to move that we adopt the regular town council meeting minutes dated July the 9th, 2026 as written.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Rigsby?
Aye.
Mr. Foy?
Aye.
Mr. Landrith?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
And I am also aye. We had a closed session meeting on July the 9th, 2026, and I would like to move that we adopt those minutes as written.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Rigsby?
Aye.
Mr. Foy?
Aye.
Mr. Landrith?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
And I am also aye. And the last one, regular town board of adjustment meeting minutes dated July the 14th, 2026. I would like to move that we adopt those as written.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Rigsby?
Aye.
Mr. Foy?
Am I?
Mr. Landrith?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Am I?
And I am also aye. Item number 5, public safety reports, Stokesdale Fire District. Mr. Wagner, do you have a report for the district?
I do, yes. Bear with me 1 second here, I'll find it, here we go. All right. This is the report from the Stokesdale Fire District for the month of July 2026. For medical-related calls, there were 51. Fire-related, there were 10. Other-related were 42, so that was a total of 103. And Chief Galden noted that they completed their fiscal year on June the 30th, and for the fiscal year of 25 to 26, they ran a total of 1,135 calls.
Wow,
And that concludes the Stokesdale Fire District's report.
great. Thank you, Mr. Wagner. Any questions from the council regarding?
No, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. We're pleased to have representatives from Guilford County Sheriff's Department. Would you like to have a report for us?
First off, good evening. My name is Matt Stalls. I was just recently promoted to the Assistant Division Commander up here in District 1, which is the northwest portion of the county. I'll be brief. We had 198 calls for service within Stokesdale last month. 17 of those calls reported in investigative reports. They were 4 simple assaults, a weapons offense, 1 drug violation, 1 rape, 2 other offenses, a pornography charge, 3 frauds, 2 aggravated assaults, and a larceny. To note, I received a few phone calls about the July 12th call, which was a shoplifting at 7915 NC 68 North. During that incident, a male was confronted after stealing some alcoholic beverages from the store by 2 citizens. A weapon was produced and fired. There were no injuries. We have identified that suspect, and our major crimes is working on issuing warrants at this time.
Thank you.
And I'll take any questions if you have any.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your new role.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have a call next month.
Item number 6, administrative reports. Administrative by Town Administrator, Mr. Robbie Lee Wagner.
Gotcha. Yes, I'll be glad to go over the admin report. I will touch on one thing before I get to the report and making sure that the computer's cooperating here. So before I dive into the admin report, if you'll take a look at the computer screen there, that's our own Mason Winfrey. And so he just, as many of you know, Mason's a lifelong resident of Stokesdale. He's also been a lifelong fan of old-time Appalachian music and started playing the auto harp when he was just a young child. And so last weekend, on his 30th birthday, he finally had a big accomplishment. He traveled to Galax, Virginia for the 90th Annual Old Time Fiddlers Convention, one of the largest and most historically significant old-time gatherings. And for his 30th birthday, he brought home the first place blue ribbon for the auto harp competition. And so I'm sure Mason's not watching this at home right now, but when he works on these minutes, he'll be surprised.
Good.
We'll still give him a hand.
Well done.
So if we could. We're very, very proud of Mason as well.
Yeah. And so with that, I'll deep dive into the admin report now. So for the water system, for the month of July, we had 3 water meters installed, 37 water meters in stock, 9 applications for transfer of service and water meters in, 8 water meters on hold for builders, 9 work orders, 46 NC 811 locates, 937 water bills mailed out, and 16 reservations or rentals. During the most recent billing cycle, that being 35 days from June the 13th to July the 17th, town purchased 10,128,279.3 gallons of water from Winston-Salem, representing an average daily use of 289,379.40 gallons. During the same billing cycle dates, 35 days, the town sold 9,909,023 gallons, 23.98 gallons, which is an average daily use of 283,114.97 gallons. I will move on to as everyone I'm sure remembers, the recent Bull Water Advisory that we had. So I'll just put some brief notes in the admin report, and I'll read those for you here. On July the 29th, a significant break involving a critical 24-inch regional water main in Winston-Salem disrupted the water service to several of the communities, including Stokesdale. The resulting loss of pressure in the town's water system prompted the town to issue a Bull Water Advisory and a system pressure advisory as a precautionary measure to protect the public health. Town staff worked closely with Winston-Salem Forsyth County Utilities, Hazen and Sawyer, the Stokesdale Fire District, Guilford County Emergency Management, and our very own water operator in charge to restore, service, monitor systems conditions, conduct the required bacteriological testing, and provide bottled water to those affected customers. After satisfactory water quality results were received from the lab, we were able to lift those advisories on August the 1st. Throughout that incident, we worked to keep our residents informed through our website, Facebook page, Sunshine email distribution list, local news outlets, Guilford County Emergency Management, and then anybody that we saw here at the town hall or phone calls that we received. But that will lead into my next portion of the admin report here, which is exploring enhanced water customer billing and communication services. So following this recent Bull Water Advisory, we began exploring options to enhance our ability to communicate emergency alerts. Sorry about that, the microphones went out. On August the 6th, we had a good meeting with Next Bill Pay to talk about their ability to help us out with this issue of communication. And so based on that demonstration, Next Bill Pay may be a viable option to replace our current Gov portal that we're using for water billing. In addition to payment processing, they offer an enhanced customer communication capabilities, including mass email notifications at no additional cost, and the ability to do mass phone calls or text messaging at minimal cost. So we're gathering more information about this platform, and we're hoping to get that to you all soon so you can make a decision possibly at the next meeting. So, any questions so far?
I have one,
Okay.
Robbie. It sounds promising with Next Bill Pay, and I think I think that could be a good idea. You mentioned it has the ability for mass communication. Does it have the ability to maybe localize the communication down to one road or one subdivision if the issue doesn't face all the customers in the system?
It does. So based on the demo, they will pull the information from our billing software, which is where all the addresses are. And then from that, when you go to send these messages, you can determine which data group you want to pull. Do you want to pull all water customers, or you can search by road name? You can do it by road name. That's probably the best way to break it up. You could also do individual customers,
Okay.
But road name would be the best. So instead of, you couldn't do it by subdivision, but you could certainly do it all the roads in that subdivision.
And that's text messages and phone call. Okay.
Correct, yeah. So emails are free. You can do emails at any time. That's not a problem. The text messaging and phone calls are available, but at a cost. And my understanding is it's a cost per text, per phone call, per incident.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So if you'd like, I'll move on now to the asset inventory and assessment project. And so the town, we continue to work with Hazen on this. So we had a progress meeting back on July the 31st. And in that meeting, I think Hazen gave a lot of great updates. They were able to kind of show us some ideas for our capital improvement plan, some hydraulic modeling and standard operating procedures, as well as an AMI feasibility study. The proposed capital improvements will include several future system improvements, including a secondary water system interconnection and possibly an emergency water system interconnection. Hazen will also begin to evaluate the future water storage needs and continue updating the hydraulic model based on that projected growth. Hazen is still exploring this automated meter infrastructure solution, and they are working to get all of this information incorporated into their final deliverable, which should be presented at the October regular town council meeting. And again, that is all tied into the AIA grant that Hazen helped the town receive back in 2024, I believe. So with that, they have also helped us get this pre-construction planning grant project, which touches on an agenda item that you'll all have under new business. Old business technically, but you haven't voted on this one yet. So essentially, they want to do the control valve at the interconnection, and with that, the SCADA to run that control valve. We've put it out for bids, and after putting it out for bids twice now, we're still waiting on some contractors to bid. So Hazen has kind of worked around that in a way that we make it a little bit more open to other folks. We can talk about that more at the item, but that'll be in front of everybody for your consideration. For the Coldwater Road water line extension, we had a good progress meeting on August the 11th. Classic City continues to make substantial progress. They've laid all the water line, and since our last meeting, they've laid the air release valves along the project corridor. The second tie-in is where they'll be working next. We've got word that on August the 25th, they'll be tying in at the Coldwater Road and Coldwater Terrace intersection. Unfortunately, during that tie-in, folks will be without water in Coldwater Terrace for about 6 hours. So we've already called them all, gave them a 2-week heads up, and I've asked staff to give them a call back a couple days ahead of time just so they don't forget. They'll tie in next at the Oak Level Church Road and Blues Creek Road intersection. Luckily, the way that is already set up, there will be no loss of service for anyone, so we should be good. And a couple meetings ago, council agreed to send letters to property owners along the project corridor to gauge interest of whether or not they wanted to tap into this system. And as of today, I think we've received 13 property owners that have paid their fees. I think there's 15 that are interested, and we've received 13 payments. So they've got until next Monday, according to the letter. And to help those folks out, we've got some blue stakes that we've got here at Town Hall. They can come pick them up, place them in their yard, and as long as it's within the right-of-way, Classic City will put their meter box in that location.
Mr. Wagner?
Yes.
If you would, be sure that our spec is followed as far as the separation from the driveway approaches.
Yeah.
We've had trouble with that in the past.
Understood.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
We put that policy out on the website and have kind of pointed folks that way, but I may attach that to my next email just as a reminder. Hopefully they'll have this project wrapped up here soon. We've got another progress report meeting on September the 8th. So that concludes the water portion of the admin report. I know it was a little bit in-depth, but a lot has gone on this past month. So any questions?
If I could take just a mayoral privilege here. I was involved with a little bit of the activity with regard to that water break with you folks here, and I have not ever been more proud of the staff and the teamwork that was developed during that issue. From all different aspects, from Forsyth County to Guilford County to our fire department to our staff here to council members. It was truly a team coming together and working hard in the interest of our residents and for their safety. There's a lot of unknowns that occurred during that time. I think we learned of it early that Wednesday morning, and immediately Robbie went out and started checking the gauges out at our station out here on Highway 158. And we kept monitoring him with the help of Gary McTunis, our operator in charge. We're able to continue to monitor those results. It soon became evident that it was, well, we were lucky that there was a lot of water in the tank. And we didn't lose pressure initially, so we didn't make a call early in the day. But rather we waited to see when we were gonna lose that pressure, or if we were going to, because we were hoping that Winston was gonna be able to take care of that. As it came more and more evident, we found that, yes, it was, we were going to lose pressure. We got a report from a business here in town that they had lost pressure. That was about 10:30. We were here at 10:30 that night and beyond. So we did make that call, and we did actually go out to the vault in the middle of the night and take readings on both the tank and the vault out there. And Robbie went down in the hole and checked those pressure gauges. So God bless you, because this old man ain't doing it. But
I wouldn't fit.
but, you know, just what great teamwork. I think too that we did learn a lot from that. I do have to give out a special shout out to Chief Galden too at the fire department, because he put us in touch with Guilford County, and they were able to give us 2 pallets of water. And within an hour, they were delivered to Town Hall on a Friday afternoon after lunch. They answered the phone, number one. And number two, they got the truck loaded and got that water over to us in just about an hour and a half time. And we were able to distribute about 54 cases that afternoon, about another 47 cases that Saturday morning. Wonderful. We did, as Mr. Wagner said, we attempted to notify all of the affected residents and businesses of what was going on. I think we did a good job given what we had to work with. But like he also said, we're looking at some additional alternatives and options that will enhance that ability. And that's going to be kind of at the forefront of what we want to do now is move forward with that, in addition to, you know, refining our techniques and that kind of thing here. So I was just very pleased and very proud to, number one, be on this board, and number two, to have the staff and the friendships and the relationships that we've got throughout the community. And thank you, residents, for your cooperation and understanding during that time. I don't think we got many complaints, and everybody was pretty well in tune with it. It was hard to do a boil water advisory because it does affect businesses. Some businesses couldn't make coffee, couldn't serve soft drinks, couldn't operate their business. I know a couple had to actually close down for the day. It's hard to make that call. We don't like to put people in a disadvantage, but the understanding and cooperation was great. So kudos to everyone involved, and thank you so very much for your understanding. And thank you for your indulgence.
Well said, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Wagner, would you like to go on with your administrative reports?
Oh, sure. Yeah, just one more thing I'll touch on. This is not related to the water system. This is actually related to GFL Environmental. So just a quick update for you all. A while back, I found out that GFL may have accidentally overcharged their customers here in town. So we have a contract with GFL that allows them to perform garbage and recycling service here in town, and that contract has a cap on it of 4%. And GFL raised that to 5%. I think it's based off of a price index. There's a lot that goes into it, but no matter what that price index shows, in 1 year they cannot increase more than 4% on us, and they did. And so luckily their new general manager, who's been there less than 2 months, was very attentive to this and worked on it, and he was able to get the problem corrected and get the results back to the reimbursement back to the. The tablet is turning off here, and so I'm a little preoccupied watching that, making sure that we're still streaming. But nonetheless, they got it fixed. We've got a 72-cent credit going to everybody, and hopefully they know not to do that next time.
Thank you for taking care of that, Rob.
Yep, thanks, Robbie.
And there's some dates in our admin report, but aside from the normal dates of meeting and all that, just know that on September the 7th, Town Hall will be closed for Labor Day. So that concludes the admin report.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mr. Wagner, do you have a report for the planning board?
I do. So the Stokesdale Town Planning Board held their regular meeting on Thursday, July the 23rd at 7 o'clock here in these chambers. During that meeting, they had the Conditional rezoning case, number 2607 PLBD 00025 for the property at 8318 Loyola Drive. During that hearing, the planning board made a motion to recommend approval of the conditional rezoning to the town council based on the updated staff report provided by Guilford County Planning, finding that the request is consistent with the town's long-term land use plan and is reasonable with the consideration of the surrounding properties. And so tonight, you all will consider the same rezoning case during our public hearing. And just know that the next planning board meeting is scheduled for August the 27th at 7:00 p.m. here in the Stokesdale Council Chambers. And that concludes the planning board report.
Thank you, Mr. Wagner. Mr. Rigsby, do we have a report from the property committee?
Nothing to report, sir.
Thank you, sir. Move on to item number 7, financial reports with Town Finance Officer, Ms. Kim Thacker.
Okay, we'll start with the general fund, as usual. And these reports, we just began our new fiscal year for FY 26-27. So these are for July, through July 31, 26. The general fund, our accounts for the Bank of Oak Ridge, the CDARS, total $3,152,059. Fidelity Bank checking is $104,617. Our petty cash is $150. Our money market account is $132,469. And then we have $4,997 left in the ARPA funds. Our total investment earnings for the month of July were $9,476.45. Our shared overhead expense for the month of July for reimbursement from the water enterprise account is $17,564.93. The payroll reimbursement due to the general fund is $655.50. The sales tax refund due is $34.60. Our total AR for the month of July is $18,255. The total assets for the general fund, including the accounts receivables, is $3,412,549. The accounts payable total is $144,661. And that is for the general fund. We'll move to the water. These also are for the month of July through July 31. The Bank of Oak Ridge, our CDARS, total $1,544,621. The Capital Reserve Fund is $86,474. Fidelity Bank checking for the operating account is $240,457. The North Carolina Capital Management Trust Fund is $623,883. The total investment earnings interest earned for the month of July for the Water Enterprise account is $6,360. The accounts receivable for the month of July, this includes the July billing, is $51,291. Our sales tax refund our sales tax refund is $866. Our total assets for the Water Enterprise account total $299,375. The accounts payable, that totals $159,372. The total of the water capacity fees for the month of July received were $7,500. I think that's all that I have for that too. And that's all that I have for the numbers for the Water Enterprise account.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Thacker.
Yes, any questions? Okay.
None here. Okay, moving on to item number 8. This is an opportunity for public comments from the floor. We actually have one that has come in. Mr. Sam Page is here, and we're very pleased to have you, Mr. Page. If you'd like to come up.
Good evening, Sheriff.
Mr. Mayor and Council, it's an honor and pleasure to be back. I know I've been on a journey. I've traveled all around Guilford and Rockingham County for the past year and a half, But I got a couple announcements to make. Number one is I retired with more than 40 years service in law enforcement from the military to the present. And it's a kind of a bittersweet moment. I told somebody in 1976, we're celebrating our 250th birthday here in America. And I said, when the 200th birthday came around, in 1976, I was serving in uniform. And it's been an honor to serve. And 50 years later, I was still serving in uniform and serving my country and always protecting our constitutional rights and also standing up for our citizens wherever I might be. So it's been an honor. It is a bittersweet moment, and I'm doing an adjustment period right here. 12 days in, I'm learning how not to get calls all throughout the night and everything. But I do want to thank you for recognizing our deputies here and their recent promotions and what they do. Also our first responders and those in public safety and our volunteers, because we couldn't do it without them. And also listen to when you have a crisis, who steps in with your water issue.
Absolutely.
And it don't always happen at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's usually after 5 and late at night. But again, everybody works together to make it work, and that's what's good, and that's what's great about America. I've traveled all over the county for the past year and a half. I've learned a lot. I've tried to get into as many meetings as I could to ask the questions and stuff like this. And I'm running for Senate 26th District, and I want to continue serving. I may be retired as sheriff, but I'm ready to continue serving because I am a public servant. But there are 3 areas that I look at that I think are very important to us in government and our communities. One is public safety. The first responsibility of government is protecting our citizens. Number 2 is schools. I support school choice. It's very important. And I'm looking at ways to fund education across the board so all our kids have the opportunity, the parents have an opportunity to select what they think is best for their children. And I think it's very important. But one of the biggest things that I see that has caused a lot of problems here in Guilford County recently is the property tax. And that's something that I think we really need to look at. And from a legislative perspective, I think we have some ideas to look at to try to help take that burden off the taxpayers as much as possible. Because when people live in a place for 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and their tax rates go up so much, and they feel like they're getting taxed out of their property, that's not right. I've met with the city council. I've met with the county commissioners, and I've asked the questions, and I've also made some statements. But I believe that the whole purpose of property tax is to help to cover the essential responsibilities of government and operations. It's not for building surplus for pet projects. Now, yes, there are things that we can't always plan for, and we can have catastrophes and situations, and we do have to have allowances for that. But in general, we should not be taxing our citizens out of their properties. They should be able to feel like that if this is where they choose to live, in Guilford or Rockingham County, our district, that's where they'll live. As a representative, I want to make sure that I represent you, and as always, my phone number is there. As sheriff, I've always taken calls and I've responded, and I will do that as your next senator. And I just want to tell you, I appreciate you. I appreciate good government, and you know what I'm seeing tonight? I'm seeing some great government. And I thank you for the opportunity to come here to Stokesdale to address you all, and I thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. Do we have any others? Very good. We'll move along then, and I will open this public hearing. This is item number 9 on the agenda. This is conditional rezoning case number 26-07-PLBD-00025. And that is CZ-LO Limited Office and GB General Business 2, CZ-GB Conditional Zoning General Business at 8318 Loyola Drive. And again, I'll open this public hearing. Proponents and opponents shall have up to 20 minutes to represent their case, with up to 5 minutes each for rebuttal. This time limit may be waived by town council. Staff report. Darby, would you like to help us with that?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. As you stated, this is a conditional rezoning case, number 26-07 PLBD-0025. The subject property is located at 8318 Loyola Drive. That is Guilford County Tax Parcel 162233. It compromises approximately 1.7 acres. One thing to note, this property does have a history of a denied case. It was denied by the Stokesdale Planning Board In 1995, that case number was 58-95. But shortly after, I think it was the next month actually, they reapplied and was approved for the conditionally zoned limited office with the condition of just allowing the insurance agency no on-site claims inspection use. That's what's currently allowed. And as you stated, they have requested to conditionally rezone it to conditional zoning general business, or CZGB. The application listed a bunch of uses they wanted to expand, as well as some proposed development conditions, all of which were listed within the staff report as well as the public notice correctly. And I will list briefly the original proposed development conditions. The applicant did send staff an updated list with extra development conditions, but I'm going to allow them to kind of present those.
Darby, before you get going.
Yes, sir.
Just so I can follow you. I'm looking at the prohibited uses that the applicant has suggested. The challenge here is that it's a black line and I can't see it well. You may have said this, are you saying you're gonna read all the,
Yeah, no, I'm not going to read every single use. The uses they've requested, as well as amended during the planning board meeting last month, is well over 100 uses, and I don't want to waste everybody's time by listing each and every one. The uses the proposed development conditions, I apologize. The 1 through 6 is what I was going to read.
okay.
Yep.
Does Guilford County Planning or town staff have this document that we can read? I guess, see, it's black, I can't
Yeah.
read.
I think those uses are included in the staff report, though. In other words, I think she has prepared, went back and laboriously typed out all those uses that were in that table.
And I can appreciate that. I guess the most feedback I've gotten is from things that folks don't want it to be, not so much the other side around. So I do think I do think it would make sense if I at least had a list that I could read where I understand what's not going to be there, and being that I would, if somebody has that list where I could read, that would be good. If not, if you wouldn't mind reading, if you have that list of what not can be there. And I know that it'll take a couple minutes, but this is a unique piece of property right in the middle of town, and I think the applicant's done a good job of acknowledging that, and so, but
I think the other issue is that some of those uses that are marked through are not even allowed in that zoning district anyway.
well, they're not allowed today. You're right.
Yeah.
And I know this will take a minute, and I'll be glad to do it.
Yeah.
I think that'll be easier to compare.
Let's see if I can help you with that. It's page 89. Table 4-3-1.
See, yeah, I guess I'm not trying to make this difficult. I guess I was just looking, do y'all have a clean copy of this that you could just read down? If this was marked in a different color, like highlighted, I'd be able to see it, but it's just a black line.
Yeah, I guess the only clean copy would probably just be the ordinance itself, to be able to read from. We would still have to kind of reference the document, in the agenda packet that you're looking at to make sure I'm reading off the correct, uses that they've marked off.
But there's a list of allowed uses.
There's a list of allowed uses. I understand those.
There's no list of,
Can I show you what I'm looking at? It's in the packet, like, I just, Bill, can you help me out? Do you have a list?
I've seen that.
Maybe the original copy?
Since this is conditional use, the only uses that we're talking about allowing are the list,
have
the
a
ones you
clean
have listed.
document of
It
this.
doesn't matter what our charts say, correct?
That's correct, yeah. The uses that they're requesting to do are the ones listed in the,
Okay. So
staff
our
report.
charts mean nothing then, just everything here,
Yes, sir.
with, I guess with the exception of this.
Correct, yeah.
That'll be added.
Yes, sir.
I mean, or deleted or whatever. That's part of the,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they're requesting for those to be added.
right.
Yep,
Well,
Or removed.
or removed, yeah.
Yeah,
I
as
apologize,
not
yeah.
used, yeah.
well,
In other words, the ones,
Now, these are gonna be removed.
it
Correct.
does
Everything else is
itself.
what they're asking
Be
for.
in other words,
removed.
those on that list
Yes, sir,
are included in.
Biggest
I'm just
conditional
gonna go
use
down
I've
the
ever
list
seen.
for the record. I was hoping I didn't have to do this, but
I've been around a
Want
long
to.
time.
yeah. So I was able to come up with a list, and I'd just like to read it in for the record of uses that will not be permitted here. And please bear with me, this will take 3 or 4 minutes. And Bill, is this something you can track along with me? Because I do want to be accurate in this. Agricultural production, crops, agricultural production, livestock, animal feeder, breeder, animal services, livestock, animal services, other, fish hatchery, forestry, mining and quarrying, manufactured dwelling, Class AA, manufactured dwelling, Class A and B, manufactured dwelling, park, shelter for the homeless, flying field, a private flying field, adjunct motor vehicle, migrant labor housing, recycled collection point, satellite dish communication tower, swimming pool, amusement or water parks or fairgrounds, athletic fields, auditorium, coliseum or stadium, billiard parlors, bingo games, bowling center, coin-operated amusement, country club with golf course, equestrian facility, fortune tellers, go-kart racing, golf course, mini golf, and then just a golf course. Shooting range, both interior and outdoor, a swim and tennis club, a cemetery or mausoleum, college or university, correctional institution, daycare center, adult, daycare center child, 5 or less, daycare center child, 6 or more, elementary school or secondary school, fraternity or sorority, nursing and convalescent home, psychiatric hospital. Almost done, folks. Advertising, outdoor services, automobile rental or leasing, automobile repair services, major and minor, I should say, automobile parking, commercial, automotive towing and storage services, boat repair, equipment repair, heavy equipment repair light, funeral home or crematorium, hotel or motel, insurance agency, carriers that have on-site claims and inspections, kennels or pet grooming, laundromat, laundry of dry cleaning plant, laundry of dry cleaning substation, an adult massage parlor, a recreation vehicle, RV parking or campsite, adult theater, tourist home or bed and breakfast, truck and utility, trailer rental and leasing, truck, tractor, and semi-rental and leasing, truck washing, a bar, boat sales, an adult bookstore, a convenience store with gasoline pumps, live entertainment, adult live entertainment, motor vehicle sales, new and used, recreational vehicle sales, restaurant with drive-through, service station, gasoline, truck stop, video tape rental and sales. I hope we're almost done. Livestock, machine construction and mining, motor vehicles, parts and supplies, motor vehicles, tires and tubes, resins, scrap and waste materials, airport flying and field, beneficial field area, construction or demolition debris, landfill major, construction or demolition debris, landfill minor, land clearing and inert debris, landfill major, land clearing and inert debris, landfill minor, hazardous and radioactive waste, transportation, storage, disposal, a heliport, radio, television, or communication tower, railroad terminal or yard, a sewage treatment plant, a solid waste disposal, non-hazardous, truck or freight terminal, utility equipment and storage yards, utility substation, warehouse that's for general storage and enclosed warehouse for self-storage, water treatment plant, aircraft and parts, ammunition, small arms, animal feeds, animal slaughter, aims and weapons, asbestos, asphalt plant, boat and shipbuilding, brooms and brushes, chemicals, paints, and allied products, heavy construction and contractors, drugs, explosives, fat and oils animals, fat and oils plant, fish canned, cured, or frozen, industrial and commercial machinery, logging and wood, raw materials, manufactured housing and wood buildings, millet and poultry, packing and processing, motor vehicle assembly, paper products, no coating or laminated, paper products, coating and laminated, paper containers and boxes, petroleum and related products, pharmaceutical preparations, primary metal products and foundries, pulp and paper mills, rubber and plastics, miscellaneous rubber and plastics, raws, salvage yards, auto parts, salvage yard scrap processing, sawmill or planing mills, surface actant agents, textile products, no dyeing and finishing, textile products with dyeing and finishing, billboards, carnivals and fairs, and turkey shoots. And thanks for belaboring me, Bill. Are these in check with what you have? I wanted to enter those for the record because I have had more people reach out about what they didn't want. And I actually, in a, I guess, roundabout way, want to commend you and say thank you for doing a good job for putting it together and recognizing, I think that. So, and I know it was a roundabout way of doing it, but without entering to the record, I had concerns. So, thank you.
So in addition to those that are not live, we had the three
Yeah.
others that were.
And Darby mentioned Bill was going to address those. I can go ahead and read them, or let Bill read them. But yeah, go ahead, Bill.
But there again, this is a conditional zoning, and you've listed all the things that you're asking for. All that. I'm just saying, but you've got a list right here of all, these are the things you're asking for, which is what we're.
But that's readable. We can read that. It's what's.
Well, I know,
It's what you can't read is the question. And the only reason I was able to do it is because I just matched up with the formatting. I couldn't really, anyway.
I mean, there's a lot of things, you know. Okay, we can read D.
There's been 11 more added since that list, since the application was submitted at the planning board meeting back in July. I think there was 8 that the applicant removed, and then there were 3 more that were removed this week. Is that right?
Yeah, but what are they?
So. Okay.
You included them in this.
Yeah, that's.
I can read those, and I'll read these other 3 too. Or would you like to do that? It's not, but it's. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay. Additional uses that have been removed. Number 37, equipment rental and leasing with outside storage, research, development, or testing services, septic tank services, tire recapping, truck and utility trailer rental and leasing, flight, fuel, oil sales, tire sales, and taxi terminal.
And the rehabilitation counseling service.
Okay. I don't see that. Or did I miss it?
It's in the book,
It's handwritten.
handwritten in the book.
It was added at the meeting,
Okay,
at the planning board.
that'll count, okay.
Did I miss it?
And I'm sorry, Darby, because I did interrupt you during, so if you can you have anything further from a staff report perspective?
No, just to kind of re-highlight that the request is consistent with the future land use map that was revised in 2007. It was, the parcel itself was designated as a town core. And like I said, it's consistent. So if the council does decide to approve the rezoning request or conditional rezoning request, there would not be a need to amend the future land use map.
Okay. And the planning board voted in the recommendation?
They did. They voted to recommend. So yeah, and staff, the last thing, staff does find it reasonable, just because, again, it is consistent with the future land use map designation, as well as with requesting to reduce the uses and everything. The applicant has tried to hit concerns from the neighboring property owners, as well as people throughout the community, by making these requests, as well as the additional development conditions that they sent this week. But yeah.
Do you have the information? You said case number 5895 back, I think,
95.
what were they asking for then? Was it a total rezoning, or do you have that information?
Not in front of me, but from memory, they were requesting, I think, a lot more conditions and a lot more uses. With the information that I could find in our records, it didn't really shed any light to the reasoning for the planning board to deny it. But kind of linking with the request afterwards of just the insurance agency, it might have been that they already had a particular use that they wanted to use, and the planning board, as well as town council, felt a little bit more comfortable with that second
Right,
request.
okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Darby.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bill, did you have anything that you wanted to add? Okay, all righty. We'll open the public hearing. And again, proponents or opponents shall have up to 20 minutes to present their case, with up to 5 minutes for rebuttal. And of course, we don't have to use all 20 minutes. So I have declared this open. Ms. Terrell has read over the case there. And at this time, I'd like to open the floor for anyone in the audience who would like to speak publicly in favor of the conditional rezoning. Do we have any in favor of? That would be Mr. Greco.
Good evening. My name is Bill Greco. I'm with Land Solutions. My address is P.O. Box 347 in Oak Ridge. Here this evening speaking on behalf of the applicant. The applicant could not join us. He's out of state on a previous engagement, but certainly extends his thanks to the town for the assistance with processing and the patience with this list. Real quick, I don't think I need 20 minutes, but currently this property has split zoning. To Mr. Landra's inquiry as to the previous case, my assumption is similar to Ms. Terrell's. I think they had asked for a very broad rezoning, didn't work out for them. They came back and limited just to the insurance agency. The other part of the property is zoned, I believe, just straight GB. So currently 2 zonings on the property. We want to take it to the CZ request that you see before you this evening. In 2023, we rezoned the property on this map just to the northwest adjacent to. So we started with our list of uses and conditions with essentially a carbon copy of what was previously approved. So should this be approved, we'll have some continuity in zoning here on a relatively significant piece of downtown Stokesdale. We'll have all that the same. I would be remiss if I didn't note that we've had a lot of interaction with neighbors church owners, so forth, so on, and some exceptional assistance from Ms. Danita James, who is an adjacent property owner, who pointed out some flaws with our uses. The development conditions, I'll touch on those for a second. Those speak to things like lighting, no 24-hour operations, those sorts of things, to keep some consistency there. Scenic corridor guidelines, those sorts of things. They're kind of global conditions. Circling back to our uses, we certainly want to thank the staff, the planning board, Mr. Wagner, Mr. Winfrey. We, everyone involved, have struggled with this list. We had a change in staff. We had a change in ordinance. We had an ordinance that could not be accessed in any format on the website. We have struggled to get here this evening. Thanks to Mayor Pro Tem Foy for going through this list and making it clear. We did remove some items in terms of a use based on input from the public. As always, I removed a number of them that I either deemed inappropriate or just wildly impossible. Golf course is a good example. It's just not enough acreage there. We think with this evening we have our uses dialed in. And again, we thank everyone who's been involved with this. These lists that you can't win. If you list what you want to do, somebody wants to see what you don't want to do, or vice versa. So perhaps I'll come up with a creative way on the next go-round to get this dialed in on uses. Last thing I want to bring up, the additional development conditions that we are offering this evening. In terms of use, a use is either listed in the UDO or it's not. Golf course, it's listed as a use. There are gray areas and things that aren't specifically addressed or listed as a use in our UDO. So via development conditions, what we would like to offer this evening is the following uses, operations, or businesses, which are either not listed in the UDO table of permitted uses or not otherwise clearly addressed in the UDO, shall not be permitted. So we want to prohibit the retail sale of marijuana, cannabis, hemp-derived intoxicating cannabinoid products, THC products, or similar intoxicating cannabinoid products, regardless of future changes in any federal or state law. So what we're saying right there, I hope, I've crafted that in plain English. Our ordinance doesn't have, cannabis store listed. So with this condition that we're applying, we hope in plain English, both this council, future councils, future staff will be able to read that and understand what we're doing. The second one, any business whose primary purpose is the retail sale of electronic cigarettes, vaping devices, vape liquids, or related products, commonly referred to as a vape shop or smoke shop. Same thing applies. Our ordinance does not list as a use, vape shop or smoke shop. So we want to clearly put this in here as a development condition. The last one, retail sale of drug paraphernalia intended for the consumption and inhalation, ingestion, or preparation of controlled substances or intoxicating cannabinoid products, including but not limited to bongs, water pipes, bowls, dab rigs, and similar items. If council has any questions as to what some of those items may be, I'll do my best with them. But those are development conditions that we are offering this evening.
Those are use conditions. The development conditions are something else, right?
No. There's uses, which is the list, and then there's development conditions, which we are offering this evening.
If these were already permitted uses, it would be what you're talking.
Yes.
But these,
Or not?
Bill is an anticipated, that he's acknowledging it's not in our UDO, these uses, but he's also acknowledging that it's probably a good idea to spell it out in plain English, like he's saying, so.
Okay.
Yes, well, they're not on this list anyway. This list is all your conditions of what you're asking for with it to be able to do.
We've
Not on
got
the
to
list.
separate use and conditions. So use is a permitted use. That's a table in the UDO. That's golf course, fire department, restaurant. That's one aspect of a conditional rezoning. Secondly, are development conditions that may be offered by the applicant, such as no business will be operating 24 hours a day. That's things that we offer since vape shop, dispensary, bong shop, that stuff isn't listed as a use in our ordinance, so I can't say we're not gonna do a use when the use doesn't exist in the ordinance. What I can say is via development condition, we're not gonna do these things.
Right, I understand.
Okay.
I see what you're saying, but I'm just saying, it's not on the conditional uses that you've got listed here. I mean, you're doing a conditional zoning. And you're
Correct.
asking for all this big list of items to be able to do. So this is not one of the items you're asking for anyway.
Part of the problem is some of these, if I can have some liberty here for background and be careful not to offend or upset anybody in the town of Stokesdale. Some uses evolve. I'll pick on grocery stores. Grocery stores in my lifetime now have bars inside of them where you go sit at a bar stool at a bar and drink beer. That's not in anybody's UDO. It's something that has evolved. Other uses, such as vapes, you can have a vape store, which may actually be permitted as a tobacco store, and that's sort of a secondary product. Another example is just a straight-up bar. Forever and ever, there was rules about if you had to sell food in order to be a restaurant, which got an ABC license. Similarly, some of them have a membership. When you go in, you pay $1 and now you're a member. It's a private club, it's not a bar. What we're trying to do with these is we understand what we don't want to have there. The ordinance just isn't clear. It doesn't give us an opportunity to strike it. So that's my language. I hope it's plain English. I hope everybody gets what we're trying to do there.
I think it's great.
Finally, again, I think to circle back, we've worked hard with everybody on the uses. We've got input from a number of citizens and other concerned folks, which we've incorporated all of that. It is a request that conforms with the land use plan and everything else. Staff recommends approval, planning board recommend approval. So our thanks to everybody for, this one's been awkward. I hope the next one's a little smoother in terms of a list.
It's a unique piece of property.
It's-
I think you do this all the time, and I think you've done a good job putting this
It's a
together.
tough piece.
Yeah.
And we thank you folks for bearing with us this evening. If you have any further questions, I'll be happy to address.
I do, Bill.
Yes, sir.
I understand that an ABC store is not a permitted use in the GB district. Is that a condition that you can add to prohibit an ABC store at that location? I don't think there should be one right beside a church.
We can strike that as a use, yeah. Applicant would offer to strike ABC store from the final list. Robbie, if you got that. That's a miss on my part. That's been discussed.
Understood. Thanks, Bill. All good.
Anything else?
Club or lounge? Is that what it says? Club or lodge? I'm not a particular fan of zoning. You know that.
Understood.
And I like people to be able to do what they want to with their property, but we've got a church sitting there that's been there for 100 and some years, or I don't even know how long, forever, as far as Stokesdale's concerned. And I've got a little experience with that. I wish I'd had known years ago, but we've had, you haven't been around for it, but we used to have lots of places in Stokesdale, and it would cause issues, sometimes. I just don't think that beside the church is a place for a club or lounge. I say lounge, a club or lodge.
So
A lodge can be the same way.
So ultimately, what I would say to you in response is two-part. First, the backbone, if you will, or the original document that has led to our current UDO was created, I believe, in the early 50s for Guilford County. At that point in time, club or lodge was Kiwanis Club, Veterans of Foreign Wars, the Elks Club, those types of things. So when you're writing a UDO, the people involved with it in that moment understand what they're trying to say. In modern times, club, that could be a book club, that could be a model airplane club. And if someone would choose to submit a site plan for that use, certainly the planning board would be their first stop in terms of what kind of club is this. Lodge, I think, is an outdated term. That's why we left it in. That's my explanation. With that said, happy to strike if it causes
Council would
you.
never see it. Because
Sir?
you know how it works. Council would never, planning board would never see it. I mean, planning board would see it, but council
Correct.
would never see it.
Correct.
And I'm just telling you, and, you know, there could be plenty of clubs that would be fine there, but there's plenty of clubs that wouldn't be fine there. And, you know, the 24-hour deal's a joke anyway. I mean, I know you have to put it there, but you can close for 1 minute and you're not open 24 hours. I just don't think, and like I said, I like people to be able to do with their property, but I'll be done. You've done enough if that could be done.
I understand.
Now, if it's, I don't know, I wish there was a better way to say it. Like I said, the JCs or something like that, or.
Correct.
You know, would be okay, but there's some you just wouldn't want to do it.
I think if we choose to
Church
err,
wouldn't appreciate it. They might think right now it's okay because they just sold the property, but I promise you, they won't appreciate it because I've been to some of them over the years. I ain't been a long time, but, and I don't want to have to put them, you know, through that.
understood, to err on the side of caution, it's better to remove club or lodge. Should somebody come along in the future, Kiwanis Club, Book Club, whatever, maybe we'll take a creative look at that at that point in the future, should it ever come to pass. But for this evening, we would offer to strike club or lodge as a permitted use.
Okay, that's about it for me. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions for Bill?
Well, Bill, this may not be the appropriate time to bring this up, but ever since we rezoned the property next door, it's kind of worried me a little bit. One of our citizens, Bernadette Fulk, pointed out to this board that was right in the middle of town, beside the fire station, across from the funeral home, beside the Methodist church. And that has worried me ever since, wondering what might ultimately wind up being there. So this is going to be hard for me to. Usually, I don't have a problem with rezoning somebody's property so they can use it for their highest and best use. I think that's, in general, the best practice. What's running through my mind here is, never mind all these various uses and what have you, if kids are not welcome there, or if kids can't be there, or if it's not a healthy place for kids to be, then it's a no vote for me. You know, we can talk about all the various uses that might create some noise or dust or something unsightly, but at the end of the day, we need to think about what vice is, what a bad habit is, what immoral is, what sin is, what illegal is, what adult uses are. This is I think, a sensitive area. I think a lot of us can agree it's not on some corner next to a clover leaf somewhere, you know, with highways on the corner and neighbors 200 yards away and that sort of thing. It's right in the heart of our town. So I'm going to need to be absolutely convinced that this is going to be a safe place for kids at the end of the day.
Do you want me to read the uses again, Tim, that we can't do there?
For the uses, I would be fine with that.
That's a long list.
The uses that we should be concerned with is what they can be there. You know, I think we struck you struck some of the main ones. I mean, I've looked over, I don't know, is there anything in here that you see that I haven't seen? Because I feel the same way, but.
I don't know that, I mean, I'm happy to go through the list to the best of my ability of what we are asking for. Mr. Jones, to your point, we have spent a significant amount of time, and again, I'll bring you back to 2023, property right next door that we rezoned. We spent time then going through these uses. We've spent an extraordinary amount of time on the current list of proposed uses. I am not aware of anything, and nothing jumps out at me currently that speaks to excessive potential for danger for children, for example, immorality. We've removed, bar. We've removed everything to do with alcohol, everything to do with the, let's call them unsightly things, massage parlors, adult theater. We've taken all that off the table. It's gone. We don't want that either. This applicant is a citizen, member of the town, community person, community-minded, been working with the neighbors all along. So I'm not aware of anything. I don't know if that 100% eases your mind, but again, happy to go back through the list again and make sure that there's nothing I've missed. We're looking for primarily businesses, and I know you've heard it. It's been said in these council chambers before, zoning is simply permission to try. So we'd like a list of things that give us permission to try. We've had a number of inquiries from folks who would be interested in developing the property for this or that, but without the rezoning and this list, you're kind of stagnant with your property.
Any further questions or comments for Bill?
Now my questions have been answered.
Is there something I missed?
Okay. Bill, thank you.
I mean, I'm,
Do you have any other audience members that would like to speak in favor of?
took out the debate.
Okay. Eric. And please state your name and your address, please, Eric.
Yes, I'm Eric James. I'm currently residing at 8309 Loyola Drive, little White House next to the church. I'm here speaking on behalf of Danita James, my aunt, who could not be here but is on the Zoom call listening in. Danita is a native of Stokesdale. She grew up in the house at 8311 Loyola Drive. Her grandparents, Raymond and Erlene Angel, moved into the house at 8309 Loyola Drive almost a century ago. Danita's grandmother's family, the Orals, came to Stokesdale in 1905 or 1906, and so Danita has deep roots in the town. Danita inherited the homes at 8309 and 8311 Loyola Drive in 2019 when her mother died. She has since made a six-figure investment in improving the properties. 8309 Loyola had been sitting vacant since Danita's grandmother died in 1996. Now both properties are occupied by tenants. The family living in 8311 Loyola has been there since February of 2021, and I have been living in 8309 Loyola since September of 2024. And actually before that, my sister lived there, so it served the family. While Danita lives in Arizona now, she may return someday to live on Loyola Drive. And here's the point of my comment. Danita has no objection to the conditional rezoning as currently proposed. Danita appreciates the owner's willingness to limit the potential uses of the property to exclude some uses that otherwise would be permitted in a general business zone but would adversely impact the adjacent residential neighborhood, including the Loyola Drive homes that Danita owns. And that's it. Thank you.
Good, thank you, Eric.
Sir.
Grandfather built it. That little while.
Okay, do we have any others that would like to speak in favor of the rezoning? Okay, if there are none, do we have any that would like to speak in opposition to the rezoning? I don't see any hands. Okay, very good. Okay, with that said, and there are none in opposition, I'll declare this public hearing closed.
Mr. Mayor, before the council considers it, the law requires that these additional conditions be in writing, signed by the applicant. So if Mr. Greco's available, I've written, in addition to the 3 he'd added before, I've added ABC store and a club or lodge on the property. That's my recollection of the 2 additional ones you've added. So if, to comply with that, if you want an initial here, Mr. Greco, that you're offering these. We'll just have that.
Sign it too.
Okay. Right, thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay, we good? All right. With all these things taken into consideration, I would entertain a motion.
I've got a comment, and probably will have a motion, because I do support the rezoning. I want to acknowledge the work that Bill has done on behalf of his applicant. I do know it was a lot to do so. I want to also acknowledge, my colleagues Tim and Jimmy. They both shared legitimate concerns, right? I think all of us look at this because it's, well, I would just say I look at this a little differently because of its location in the town core, in the general business use, which can be applied, more widespread across town. Some of those uses may be more appropriate in alternate areas, such as the middle of town. I would offer it might be, taking in some of these concerns in this process, it might be worth council considering maybe a downtown core district that would not have these uses even in it, so we wouldn't have to go around in circles, or future councils go around in circles in any rezoning that's done in the town core. That's a suggestion. Thank you to the applicant. From my perspective, I'm going to vote for it, and I look forward to what the future holds for the town of Stokesdale in terms of business for that land. So that's the only comment I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Foy. Any other comments from council? And we'll entertain a motion.
I can throw it out there. I'm going to make a motion to approve conditional rezoning case 2607 PLBD 00025, located at, can you help me out?
8313, I believe.
83.
Let's see. 8318 Loyola.
8318 Loyola. It is in accordance with our future land use plan. The applicant has proposed very reasonable restrictions on the land use, acknowledging its presence in the town core. I do believe new business there would advance the public purpose, and lastly, it was approved by our planning board.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Floyd, did you want to add that you think it's consistent with you find it's consistent with the long use plan and is reasonable?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Mr. Foy, would it be appropriate for your motion to acknowledge the signed conditions that Mr. Winfrey has had Mr. Greco sign? So
I'm making my motion with those conditions.
If we don't need them dated, we got at least 2 documents here that have popped up since this meeting has started for me.
We have 2 documents, and they were read on the public record, and I've read every other prohibited use. Let's do it another way.
My goal is just to make sure these 2 documents wind up attached to the minutes at the end of the day.
Maybe another way to do that would be asking Mr. Winfrey a question.
Yes.
To address Tim's concern that these 2 documents make it into the file paperwork regarding these case. These documents have become the record, part of the record of this rezoning. Is that right?
Except that the one dated August 13 has 2 additional uses not allowed.
2 additional uses that the applicant has signed off for.
Correct, that's right.
With that, are we?
That's right. So
good?
I guess just to make it clear for the record, the letter dated July 23rd, 2026, before the planning board contained 8 uses. and one was added to the planning board, making 9 uses on that list. And then tonight's list, initially was 3, and the 2 more have added for 5 additional uses that have been, that would be disallowed on the property.
So we're good.
Right.
Thank you.
I'm just saying by extension of that, I'd like to see that attached to this set of minutes when they're written.
Robbie, you can do that, can't you?
They're always attached.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any further?
I've got a question. Is a club and a bar the same thing? Or what is a bar, what's the legal definition of a bar versus the legal definition of a club?
He's not asking for us. There's nothing in here where he's asking for. That was as close as you could get.
He removed bar from one of the uses.
It's not, the uses,
Typically, Mr. Jones, you would go to the standard industrial classification code. I don't know if Robbie's technology allows us to do that, but the SIC code, those little numbers you see in the
I know
permitted
what
use
you are,
chart,
yes, sir.
you can look that up and it will give you a definition. That is the first place that your staff and your town attorney and everybody will start to parse a definition of what is anything.
Yeah, I'm just concerned at a later date, perhaps the property is sold to a new buyer, a new owner, and they appear before us asking for changes and nibble away at these conditions that are being set tonight, making
that
a
is their
request for them to
right.
be changed.
That
And
is their
so,
right to do
as
so.
much as clarification as we can get tonight is what I'm looking for.
Just a reminder, before any alcohol could be sold at any location in Stokesdale, that request has to come back in front of this board as well. So I know we don't have it happen a lot, but I think Dollar General was the last permit that it's the only permit since we've been on council that's had been requested. So that is part of anybody that tried to put a alcohol-related establishment in, they would have to come back for an ABC request to the board. So, and then we can consider.
And furthermore, any future landowner or even the existing landowner can appeal to the council to add a use, remove or add a use. There's not much removal that ever happens, but so even what happens tonight doesn't prevent that or a future council from granting that in the future. I would go back and talk about really investigating potentially a downtown, a town core district there along 158 that can better address some of the concerns that I think we collectively share, in some way or shape or form.
Mr. Jones, I pulled up. Do you still want the definitions for those? I've got it for bar, but club and lounge does not pull up on the SC website.
Well, given that the applicant has waived.
I was able to find that, Robbie.
Oh, you
The
found it,
right
okay.
to both, I guess I'm good for the moment.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay, we good? We have a motion and a second.
Who seconded the motion? I missed that.
I did.
Okay, Mr. Rigsby.
We ready for the vote? Mr. Rigsby.
Aye.
Mr. Foy.
Aye.
Mr. Landry.
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
I am nay.
I am aye.
Thank you to you and your applicant. You too.
Thank you, Bill. All right, we'll move along here to agenda item number 10. This is consideration of a new public utility service vendor for the town of Stokesdale. This is continued from last month. Before we do that, Darby, if you want to, you can be excused if you don't want to stay, but you're welcome to stay.
Oh, yeah.
We don't charge any extra.
Thank you, I
What place
appreciate
would
it.
you rather be, Darby?
I think she was disappointed that she did all that, found those definitions, and she didn't get to read them out.
No, it's okay. No, normally I would, but we were pretty late last night for Guilford County's planning board, so I might take you up on it
understand.
tonight, unfortunately.
Thank you so much.
No, thank
Appreciate
you.
your help.
Yeah.
Thank you, Darby.
Okay. All right. With that, then we'll go back to item number 10, which is consideration of a new public utility service vendor for the town of Stokesdale. This was continued from last month's meeting in order to obtain some additional information. Just from a brief recap, Mr. Seth Webster, owner of Southern Terrain LLC, previously contacted the town regarding the process for providing information about his company's services and becoming an approved vendor for the town. Mr. Webster did submit the required documentation, vendor registration form, vendor cost sheet, his IRS Form W-9, and copies of certificates of insurance. This was provided to the town back on July the 9th at the regular meeting. As I said, we did have a request for some additional information. And since that time, I have had the opportunity to follow up on the references provided by Mr. Webster. I did also meet with Mr. Webster yesterday afternoon personally and was quite impressed. The references were very favorable. I have three that spoke very highly of Mr. Webster, of his character, of his work, and his ability. And I was impressed with him as well on a personal basis. He did also provide, and this is in your packets, as well as I believe Mr. Webster provided an email to you this afternoon with a additional or a revised copy of the cost sheet that we'll discuss perhaps later, but also with a statement of qualifications that included some completed jobs from the past year or so. In that, and I don't know, have you had an opportunity to review those? I will draw particular attention to a couple of those things, and on the final page, well, the last two pages of this email that Mr. Wagner sent out. Recently completed projects. He did new residential construction in the town of Clemens, where he was a subcontractor. The services included a sewer tap on vitrified clay pipe and installed a 4-inch ductile iron sewer lateral. From a water standpoint, he installed a hot tap on an 8-inch iron water main, installed a 3/4-inch type K popper water lateral and meter. Then in Trinity, North Carolina, another new residential construction. He installed a sewer main tap and installed 2 new sewer service laterals using 4-inch PVC pipe and clean out. There in White Deer Park over in Garner, North Carolina, he was new construction. They constructed a splash pad and bathrooms. He was a subcontractor and was contracted by Solution Grading. The services included demolition of vehicle parking area for new utilities, including sewer, excavate and install 220 feet of 4-inch sewer line. Core drilling in an existing manhole and installed a vault for backwater valve. Water, he installed a tap on an 8-inch water main, installed a new 1.5-inch RPZ backflow preventer and over 100 feet of 1.5-inch copper lateral. He installed a 1-inch tap on an existing lateral and new RPZ backflow preventer. And then he also installed enclosures for the RPZ backflows and meter setters. The last one that he mentioned was work for Mavis Tire and Brakes in Kannapolis, North Carolina. This was new construction. He was a subcontractor and was actually engaged in that subcontractor by Gallagher Grading, who was actually one of his references provided. Mr. Webster's services included excavate and install new sewer lift station, provide and install over 200 feet of SDR tie into existing cleanup from the water. He removed the existing fire hydrant and ran a new 6-inch iron water main to relocate and install a new fire hydrant. He installed new 1-inch type K copper water lateral for water service and installed a new 3/4-inch line for irrigation service. So he actually installed 2 water lines at this particular job site. And he did install and set the meter setters and water meters. Again, we do have documents in the file with regard to his insurance, certificates of insurance. He's provided additional information about bonding provisions. If they're required, he can obtain surety bonds and performance bonds up to $3 million. And he does have workers' comp, general liability, umbrella, and commercial auto. And as I said previously, he did complete a revised vendor cost sheet and submission form that included questions that, or answers rather, to questions that we had previously with regard to boring under the roadway. With that. Okay, again, I did check his references. I talked to a J.W. Gallagher with Gallagher Grading. I spoke with Blake Miller, who actually works for Cantor Power Systems. And in this particular operation, the operation was a leak investigation and emergency repairs, and also some excavation. And then the third reference was Hunter Westcott of Proline Landscaping and Westcott Contracting. All three of these were very favorable. And with that, I would like to make a motion that we add Southern Terrain LLC and Mr. Seth Webster as a approved vendor for utility contracting here in the town of Stokesdale.
I'll second that motion.
Do we have any questions, concerns, discussion?
Well, Mr. Mayor, the call sheet, this labeled vendor call sheet submission form,
Yes, sir.
the council has to approve one of these completed sheets in order for this vendor to be allowed to do emergency repairs on our water system because of the pre-audit certification requirements
Yes, sir.
by the state of North Carolina, as this council member understands it.
And that's correct. And should we approve Southern Terrain, we do have a item on the agenda to approve that cost sheet.
Is that a separate item, Mr. Mayor?
It is, yes, sir.
Next item.
So this item is just to add them as a vendor, and the other item will be to approve the cost sheet?
Yes, sir.
That sequential order makes sense to me.
That's what we did back in December or January when Brees was added. It was two items, one to add them as a vendor, and then another item to approve the call sheet that they submitted.
It's perfect, thank you.
Okay, I thought we had added this vendor, but had not approved the call sheet. That's, I thought, where we were at.
No, at the last meeting, we decided, you had actually made the motion to continue that item until we could confirm the classification of his license, and we've since confirmed that his license with the state does allow him to work on public utilities. And so that was one of the reasons it was continued, and multiple reasons, and Mayor Stevenson was able to.
So is the cost sheet attached here, or is it deeper into this package of information?
The email that was laying separate on your spot?
That?
Yep, it's the last page of that.
Thank you, Mr. Wagner.
But right now, the motion is to approve them as a vendor,
That's correct.
and Jim has seconded that.
I'm ready to vote, Mr. Mayor.
Right, thank you. Any further discussion from anyone? All right, Mr. Rigsby.
Aye.
Mr. Foy.
Aye.
Mr. Landrith.
Aye.
And Mr. Jones.
Aye.
And I am also aye. Thank you, gentlemen. Now we'll move on to item number 11, which is the approval of the cost sheet. So it is consideration of proposed pricing sheets from the new public utility service vendor for the town of Stokesdale. Again, this is Mr. Seth Webster of Southern Terrain LLC. And as we mentioned previously, and Mr. Jones mentioned as well, that we did have some questions about some of the fees that were actually some of the blanks that were on the cost sheet. And these have now been completed, and I think there's an explanation there. with each one of those.
I'll make a motion that we approve the call sheet as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I'll call for the vote. Mr. Rigsby.
Aye.
Mr. Foy.
Aye.
Mr. Landrith.
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
I'm aye.
And I am also aye.
Good job, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. And we'll move on right here.
Who's next?
All right, agenda item number 12. And Robbie actually had alluded to this coming up here in his reports earlier. This is consideration of authorizing a revised advertisement of informal bids for control valve upgrades and SCADA system installation for the town of Stokesdale's water system by Hazen and Sawyer Engineering. So basically, Hazen and Sawyer has completed the final plans and specifications for the installation of the new control valve serving the town's municipal water system and the 300,000-gallon elevated water storage tank, along with the associated supervisory control and data acquisition system, SCADA. The original informal bid period closed on July the 2nd, 2026, and was, subsequently extended to July 23rd due to limited bid interest. No bids were received during the extended bid period. As a result, Hazen and Sawyer has recommended re-advertising the project with several revisions intended to extend the pool of eligible bidders and encourage greater competition. The revised bid advertisement clarifies that both North Carolina licensed general contractors and electrical contractors may submit bids and establish a new bid deadline of September the 3rd, 2026. Bids are anticipated to be presented to the Town Council at our September 10, 2026 regular meeting. The specifications have also been updated to remove MWBE requirements in accordance with the dissolution of North Carolina Hub Office. The project drawings remain unchanged. We do have a copy of the revised bid in our packet here, and I will make a motion that we accept this new bid and give Hazen and Sawyer authority to run that bid in the channels that we have previously run such bid advertisement, and to use the bid date of September the 3rd, 2026.
Makes sense. Second.
Any discussion? We'll vote. Mr. Rigsby.
Aye.
Mr. Foy.
Aye.
Mr. Landrith.
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
I'm aye.
And I am also aye. Thank you, gentlemen. All righty. Agenda item number 14. Is this thing working? Consideration of proposed water tank maintenance contract for the town of Stokesdale's 300,000-gallon elevated water storage tank.
Mr. Mayor, do you mean to skip 13?
Yeah, we got number 13.
Did I skip 13?
It's unlucky, man. I get it.
I attended it. Well, where is 13? Oh, I'm sorry. Apologize. Agenda item number 13, consideration of an amendment to the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 Coronavirus State and Local Physical Recovery Funds Agreement between Guilford County, North Carolina, and Town of Stokesdale, North Carolina. Mr. Foy?
Yeah, so we had what I believe was a fairly straightforward amendment to the contract that we originally signed, I believe, in November, December of '22 for the Guilford County ARPA money. The contract was amended to remove the stirrer, the agitated stirrer in the tank. And that makes sense because the control valve project we're going to do is also going to serve as in that dual function, so the work would be redundant. A better use of the money would be to, one, upgrade our auto-read water meters, repaint the town's water tank, and locating roughly 7 mainline gate valves that cannot be located and repair as necessary. All three are more pressing needs for the town. Chuck has had the communication with Guilford County. It sounds like everything is moving along and is favorable. And Chuck, if you could just give us an update on that front.
Yes, so the county attorney's office has indicated that, yes, they're agreeable, management at the county is agreeable to this amendment. Their legal department is working on a draft of the amendment. I've offered to do it. They said, no, we'll do it, but we haven't seen it. Just to expedite things, you could go ahead and authorize, once the county has prepared the amendment, and I've reviewed it, you could go ahead and authorize the mayor to execute the contract once it's been prepared consistent with the motion you made at the last meeting.
Okay.
I'm going to make a motion to authorize the mayor to execute the amendment on the contract with Guilford County regarding the ARPA funds. The amendment includes the removal of the stirrer and replace with 1, upgrading to auto-read water meters, 2, repaint the town's water tank, and 3, locating 7 mainline gate valves that cannot be located. And did I make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign it upon Chuck's approval?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
My review of it.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Okay.
Second.
All right, Mr. Foy has made the motion, and Mr. Landreth has seconded. Any discussion? We'll vote. Mr. Rigsby.
Aye.
Mr. Foy.
Aye.
Mr. Landreth.
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
I'm aye.
I am also aye. Now, at long last, number 14.
There we go.
Consideration of proposed water tank maintenance contract for the town of Stokesdale's 300,000-gallon elevated water tank. Mr. Foy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Over the last 8 months, we have been evaluating different firms that would essentially take over the maintenance of our elevated water tank. The maintenance contract that I'll propose tonight, it entails the exterior renovation and upkeep of the exterior of the paint, and that includes painting. That does include the painting of the tank. It includes washouts on more regular intervals. It includes a detailed year-by-year comprehensive assessment of our tank, an interior painting of the tank. I think aside from making a lot of practical sense, I think it would be highly encouraged by the DEQ, and I personally hope a nice comprehensive maintenance program would extend the life of the tank by, at least a couple decades. So tonight I'll be making a motion that would involve accepting the proposal, which includes water tank painting this year in 2026. It's highly encouraged by the, as I'm sure some folks are noticing, the tank, it's started to turn what was once a deep blue, starting at the top and making its way down. It's starting to significantly fade from the UV rays. It kind of looks like a rotten blueberry now, and it's only going to get worse. So I think painting it this year would certainly be timely and welcomed. The painting of the tank, Robbie, if you could have that, maybe you could just flash it up on the big screen. The tank would be a white, not a bright white that makes you go zing and blind you. It's more of a calm white color, a warmer white.
Cloud white.
And then it has a beautiful Stokesdale emblem and block red lettering with black outline. I think that's appropriate, given that the water tank is on the right adjacent to the campus at Stokesdale Elementary School. Those are the school colors, black and white, the Stokesdale Vikings. And not to mention that, in 2030, we'll have a second group of Vikings here in Stokesdale when the new Northwest Middle School opens. With that, I've typed out a motion, and I'm going to make it. I'm going to make a motion to accept the proposal from Utility Services Company of Madison dated July 26 for a 10-year water tank inspection, maintenance, repair, paint, and renovation program. The contract includes an initial payment of $116,500 $500 in 2026 to be funded with ARPA funds. This will be followed by 9 annual payments of $21,127 to be budgeted from the Water Enterprise Operating Fund each year. The agreement will provide for ongoing inspection and maintenance of the tank, including necessary repairs and access improvements, annual inspections and engineered assessment reports, washouts every other year, and interior renovation, including painting, exterior renovation, including painting, visual inspections, and lastly, emergency repairs. The annual payment structure will allow the town to plan and budget for the long-term maintenance of the tank while reducing the potential for significant year-to-year fluctuations in both maintenance and repair cost. That was the motion.
Mr. Foy, I'll second your motion if you'll allow me to add a requirement that we install or have installed hash marks on the side of this tank at 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%, so far as the level of the tank in proportion to the tank ball, the gauge that travels up and down on the cable. These hash marks need to be appropriate where they can be seen from the ground. Maybe black, maybe blue, with that tank ball needs to be some color besides orange, maybe orange. You cannot see black in the middle of the night with a flashlight on it. We just had this trouble the other evening, and it's most of the time it's dark 12 hours out of the day. So I'd like to get this done. I mentioned that the last time the tank was painted and nothing became of it. So I'd like to see that happen.
With red with black marks,
They'll have the red paint. How about red?
yeah.
Okay, I've got the red hash marks. What color we want to paint the
Well, I
ball?
was thinking the ball would be red and the
Okay.
hash marks will be black.
Yeah, we can do black on the hash marks.
Okay, perfect.
Let's do that.
Can we put a Viking
Let's
on
do
it?
it.
Can we put a Viking on that ball?
If you'll go up there and draw it on it, I'll pay for the paint.
We get some of the
Ball with
kids from
extra
school to go up there and draw. I got one of them climbing.
That's just gonna look beautiful.
Okay, so that's red, Viking red on the ball and black hash marks.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all for that.
Good catch.
Doug's got concerns too.
Well, so there were 3 proposals in the packet.
That's right.
And so you're proposing number 2, which is the pay-as-you-go option. Is that?
No, I'm not. Robbie,
Number 3.
He's proposing contract, he's proposing the third option.
The third option.
Which is dated July the 22nd of 2026. It's an initial payment for the painting of the water tower, and followed by 9 payments of roughly $21,000 for maintenance. And that does, it's a annual inspection, visual, and then a biannual interior inspection and washout. And then on that 10th year is a restoration of the interior.
Okay, so it's the third version. Okay.
Yep, this is the third version. I think they all have separate dates, I believe. I know this version came after Utility Service Company was
right.
deemed the most qualified of the RFQs. This is the most recent version that we received.
Okay.
Yeah, it's July 22nd, I believe, Robbie.
Robbie, could you put the picture of the tank back up there, please?
You love it.
I do. You know I do.
Put a little wolf on there too.
You sure?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You sure you don't want to do that Carolina blue down there? I bet
I'm
you
certain
got-
of it.
I bet you got a vote down there that would go for that.
Yeah.
And just,
This is, any resemblance of what y'all were talking about is purely coincidental. This is for the Northwest Vikings, which I'm a proud alumni
Oh, I
of.
wasn't saying nothing about that. I just.
you will note, though, and we did ask this question about the size of the logo, et cetera, but it is positioned on the tank so that you see the name from the ground level, and it's not interfered with the railings around there.
It's 6'2" tall.
Is it gonna face the same direction as the current town of Stokesdale?
Yes, so you can see it on 158 going and coming.
If y'all wanna do 4 sides,
They'd run together, I believe, wouldn't they?
No, I think you it's got 2 now,
I'm
too.
just, I'm just messing.
What were I think the hash marks are a great idea. I didn't think of that. I've been pushing for the indicator to be a different.
Yeah.
Did you say 25, 50, 75, and 100, or just up to 75?
I said 25, 50, 75, and 100.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Yes, you need that, because I can't tell, I can see the ball and everything.
I agree.
You can't.
And
It's difficult.
we'll have to get Aaron to help us mathematically
Where they're at.
put those on there.
Oh, utility service code. I'm sure they've done
They
something.
can probably do that.
If the experts recommend a different system, then we'll have a look at it.
You know, we could start draining the tank on New Year's Eve and watch the ball go, whichever way it goes.
Well, then we'll have to put lights
Since it's
on.
red, but you can put lights on.
Yeah.
Probably, the ball goes up, it's a problem.
That's right.
You need to fill it. Usually.
We'll fill it up.
It'll be different in New York.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Well, I'll make a few observations about the contract. So, so this is a 10-year contract. It's terminable at any year with 90 days' notice. But if you terminate it before the first 10 years, you still owe the amounts that were owing. So if you terminate in year 3, for example, you'll still owe the payments
Through the end of
years
the year.
4 through 10. Under the terms of under the termination agreement. So, because you're front loading. And then there's inflation adjustment, so the contract provides that if in 2 years, if the total inflation rate is over 12%, then they have right to renegotiate what the.
Chuck, we got bigger problems if the inflation rate's 12%. If the inflation rate's 12%, we got bigger problems
No,
than
That's
no,
over 2
no,
years.
no,
Oh,
over
okay.
2 years.
I didn't
So-
Over
like
2 years,
like the way
okay.
that was written, and it
Yeah.
says that we negotiate, I mean, I would rather have something firm, like if it was over 6%, then, you know, they get 2% or whatever, because, you know, you could go 0, 0, 0, and then
Right. So, yeah, so
sixes, and you
the way
got
it's worded,
12.
let's say
Next
it's,
thing you know, you gotta negotiate, and who knows, you can't, I mean, we're negotiating now. I'd rather see something fixed. You know, it was a certain percentage. If it goes over, then, of course, you know, they get more. But is the contract, are they putting in 6%? Because it could be, you know, like 5.5, 5 3/4, and it could be that every year, and there'd never be a price increase, from what I read.
right.
So if, is that what they're doing? Are they going to
Well, they-
6%?
they look
Saying
at-
that they're putting that in the contract now?
They're looking at 2 years at a time. So if it's 4% one year and 8% the next year, then if it goes anything over 8, let's say 5% one year, and then 7% the next year, or 8% the next year, that totals 13, and so they would kick in.
That's what I don't like, though, is there's no standard. It
But
says
it's
you go into negotiation about it. It
Right,
doesn't
that's
say
right.
that if it's 1% over, you pay the 1%. I'd rather for it to say, you know, if it was, you know, over 6%, then it goes, you know, by that price index,
Right.
that it would be that much, because you go in negotiation, they may say, well, hey, well, you know, we're not gonna do it. We already paid all this money, but now we've gotta have 5%
Right.
instead of the 1% or whatever.
Right.
I mean, I just don't like that part of the contract. I mean, everybody else may be okay with it. I'm
It
not
does
gonna-
say
I'm
it's-
not gonna
it's
hold
And
it up,
that's
but-
section
Limited to a
15.
maximum of
contract.
5%.
Mm-hmm.
But I assume they have built in 6%, because if it's a little bit less than 6 every year, then there won't be any price increases. Is that correct?
That's right.
So that's built in.
Or if you get 4% one year, then the next year could be 8%. It
It's
still would
gotta,
be,
and then the next year it goes with this year.
right.
Then it's, you know, it just leapfrogs over. But I don't like the part that you go into negotiation about it. I mean, we need something that's set in stone, that if it ends up being 14%, then we pay 2%. I don't know, maybe you guys don't think that, I don't know. I just don't like open-end stuff like that. but I'm not gonna let that monkey stop the show if you don't want to.
My motion stands as made. And seconded.
All right, well, Chuck, you might get to make some money. Get to do a little negotiating.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second, and have had some discussion. Any more? Ready for a vote? Mr. Rigsby?
Aye.
Mr. Foy?
Aye.
Mr. Landrith?
Well, I'm for it, I guess. I'm not for that line, but yeah, yay, nay, yay.
Yay, okay. And
Yay,
Mr.
want to
Jones?
be nay. And fix that, but, you know,
I am aye.
And I am also aye.
it's a great thing, though, that we're doing this. This is, the water system's the most important thing we do.
Right.
It really is. I mean, that's a good deal.
And it is a good deal. And I think the additional improvements that they're proposing in there in this first year is going to make a big difference as well, and certainly to the longevity of the tank. Agenda item number 15, consideration of fall 2026 bulk item drop-off event with GFL Environmental at the Stokesdale. So part of our agreement with GFL is to provide bulk pickup twice a year, usually in the spring and in the fall. And we have been in negotiation with GFL to see what time would be convenient for them, and certainly with us. And so what we're proposing is to have these dumpsters, if you will. They're open-top dumpsters, and there'll be 4 or 5 of them as there were in the spring. That would be placed here on premises in the parking lot Monday, September the 14th through Friday, September the 18th. The public will be informed that the dumpsters will be available for bulk item disposal through Thursday, the 17th, which would allow for GFL to pick up the remaining dumpsters on Friday, so they would not be on site over the weekend. I would make a motion at this point to move forward with this and adopt this proposal with GFL.
I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Mr. Rigsby?
Aye.
Mr. Foy?
Aye.
Mr. Landrith?
Aye.
And Mr. Jones?
Aye.
And I am also aye. Okey-dokey. Item number 16, consideration of fiscal year 2026-27 membership dues for the town of Stokesdale's membership in the University of North Carolina School of Government. Mr. Foy.
This University of North Carolina School of Government is a wonderful resource for the town.
It is.
This is good money spent. They've helped me really from day one if I've had questions, and good use of money. So I'm gonna make a motion that the town go on for another year with the UNC School of Government and accepting their services at the annual membership dues of $1,044.
And I'll second that. So we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Are we already members?
Yes.
How long have we been a member? Okay.
Yeah.
I know 7.
And what do we get for the $1,044?
Good answers.
That's exactly right.
Very good answers. Correct answers. Educated answers.
Being able to talk to somebody as knowledgeable and as like a Kara Malanzi, I think throughout various times in our careers or areas of services, a lot of us has used her as a resource. It doesn't stop there though.
Oh, gosh, they got gobs and gobs of continuing education.
Yeah.
Oh, one time weren't we also utilizing some insurance benefits from them?
No, that's the
league.
municipalities. They no longer offer insurance for individuals. They still have a property insurance portion. I'll also add having a membership with the UNC School of Government It's a lot of these courses that some of you elected officials are required to take and that staff and elected officials can take. You get a reduced rate if you're a member. And so sometimes depending on the course level that you take, you can make that money back in those discounts.
Would that be considered a club?
No, it's a school. It's a public university.
I just wondered.
And I like
Just
that
could put it beside the Methodist church if it was.
their response time is very good. I mean, you can reach out to them by phone, by email, and they're very attentive. I mean, anytime I've ever reached out to them, they respond back. And I know Derek has had the same experience with them.
I have.
They're great. Yeah, they're really good.
I have. One of the, never mind.
They have a lot of good articles.
They do. They got newsletters, they got good continuing education. I've participated in at least one class. Well, two actually, counting the ethics. So,
I've just done one, but it was good.
I'm sorry, I just thought they were state funded.
I have no, I mean, the University of North Carolina is certainly.
Probably state supplemented would be a better term. Not totally funded.
I mean, kind of similar to students still pay tuition at a state-funded school, but it's certainly subsidized with state money.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Are we ready for the vote? Mr. Rigsby?
Aye.
Mr. Foy?
Aye.
Mr. Landrith?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
I am aye.
I am also aye. Agenda item number 17, consideration of fiscal year 26-27 membership dues for the town of Stokesdale's membership in the Piedmont Triad Regional Council. That would be the PTRC.
That's my item, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Membership in the Piedmont Triad Regional Council provides the town with access to a variety of regional planning, technical, administrative, and economic development resources and services. The PTRC also assists member local governments with grant development and administration, community and infrastructure planning, regional coordination, workforce development, and other programs designed to support local government operations and community development. The town of Stokesdale is also currently represented on the PTRC board by Mayor T., who currently serves as the town's designated representative pursuant to previous action by the town of Stokesdale. I'm going to make a motion that we become a member for another year. We do this every year. We vote on it every year. This year, the amount is $1,318. Motion that Stokesdale remain in the Piedmont Triad Regional Council and the annual and accept the annual membership dues of $1,318.
Second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? There being none, we'll proceed with the vote. Mr. Rigsby?
Aye.
Mr. Foy?
Aye.
Mr. Landrith?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
I am nay.
And I am aye. Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Agenda item number 18, discussion of federal grants compliance policy manual. Mr. Foy, you're up again.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, just to provide a little backstory, is I truly don't sit around and thinking, how can I work to assemble a 48-page policy? But the reason for this is, we already have I think, a robust internal controls policy. But some of the grant money that we've received, specifically with the AIA project and planning grants, that is federal money. With that are federal requirements regarding our internal controls policy. We did receive notification from the administrator of this grant that our internal controls policy was not inadequate because it essentially didn't request or it didn't specify that the money, federal monies, how they would be spent and managed. So, T and Robbie and I, worked together to see what we could do to put a good internal controls policies in place. I like that it's easy to read. The formatting is good, but when you get down to brass tacks and look at a lot of these bullet points, I feel assured that, we're doing a lot of things right, today. So I never had concerns, but this document is a necessity to have, to receive federal funds. So with that, I'll just get a motion on the table to adopt what's the title here?
Federal Grants Compliance Manual.
Thank you. To adopt the Federal Grants Compliance Manual as town policy of the town of Stokesdale. The resolution doing so. I guess the proper motion is going to be to approve the resolution. And let's see, guys, help me out. Okay, the resolution number is Resolution R 2026-07. It's a resolution adopting the Town of Stokesdale Federal Grants Compliance Manual. I'm going to make a motion that we adopt that manual as presented.
I'll second the motion. Now, it's as written right here, because I think, did you say something about Chuck had
Reviewed this.
reviewed it? And
Chuck has had the opportunity to review, that's right.
but there's no changes. We're voting on what you've done.
Well, I made some minor changes, to mostly formatting issues.
Are they in this document?
No.
No, I think I emailed them to Mr. Foy and Mr. Wagner, but I don't know if they've been circulated.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Formatting changes?
Mostly, yes.
I mean, is there a problem with the document that he put? I mean, there's no problem
From a
here.
context standpoint, you didn't see anything much.
Well, there were some sentence fragments that I thought we needed to fix, but
Chuck, you're
I
our
think we
attorney,
understood.
not our English professor.
well, but if you just have a bunch of subjects in search of a verb, it's hard to know what is meant.
Well, if we got to send it, so,
Yeah, we did.
I'll second the motion,
For the
and if they don't,
17th.
if it's not acceptable, they can send it back.
I mean, I would not be insulted at all. If all you gotta do is make, grammar corrections, be my guest. I still, it's the spirit of the document is
Yeah,
what
the
I'm
spirit's
trying
fine, the spirit's fine, it's just, some of the things didn't read, so I just try to make it so they would.
No,
How can we do this then? Because I'm seconding the
I don't know.
motion regardless.
I've done the work.
I know you have.
I'm gonna, no more.
That's what I'm saying, how we gonna do this, because I want to vote on this tonight, so we
Well,
can send this.
if you wanted to say, with the changes that, the attorney has suggested, if you want to adopt those changes.
Have you seen the changes?
I have, yes. So in the agenda packet is the original version that Mr. Foy presented, and then when I sent that out, I then sent that document separately to Mr. Winfrey, and he reviewed it, and I've sent those, his proposed changes to the formatting and some of the text to Derek as well. And, or you had sent it to me and Derek, and so we've reviewed it. But honestly, for the sake of this meeting, I knew that it was being considered, but rather than printing the 48-page document again, I figured that we would discuss the changes.
Well, I'm seconding whatever you want to do, Derek. however you wanna
If I could make a suggestion, how about we put this into a motion such that after the review by town staff and town attorney, and there's a second draft of the document, that we, once the mayor and the mayor pro tem agree, so long as they agree, then we'll give them the authority to approve it and proceed on. Otherwise, it'd come back to us. So long as they're in agreement.
I think it's perfect. Chuck, does that work for you too?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so if we need to put that into the form of the motion as a friendly amendment, that's certainly something that I would accept.
Okay, I'll be glad to do that. Who seconded this motion?
I did.
Jimmy?
Okay, Jimmy. Oh, shoot, yeah. I mean, as long as Derek's all right with me, he's gonna put the work in, so,
All good.
I'm just curious, where did the seed document come from? Did we use one from, Pleasant Garden, or how did this start?
The seed document came from,
It actually came from UNC School of Government.
a lot was used there. There's different sources there.
Yeah, that's correct. So DEQ, whenever DEQ reached out to us, they provided example document from the School of Government.
Well, if this had anything to do with the federal government, it's very simple, in federal terms, based on my life experience.
Well, they'll send it back if they don't like it, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Thanks for putting this together, Derek, and everybody else that worked on it.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm
Learning experience.
glad we can answer, we should be able to adequately answer the gap, or address the gap that exists today and receive the federal funds.
Very good. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? We'll vote. Mr. Rigsby?
Aye.
Mr. Foy?
Aye.
Mr. Landrith?
Aye.
And Mr. Jones?
I'm out.
I am also aye. Okay. Agenda item number 19. This is consideration of a reimbursement request related to a leak in the town of Stokesdale's municipal water system on Hellison Court. Mr. Foy?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Can I interrupt you for just a second? There's a resolution here adopting the federal grants compliant manual. Is that basically what we just did?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. I'll be glad to speak on that. So
Okay, yeah.
in the manual.
Because it was in the back, yeah.
Correct, that's right. His motion did touch on approving the manual, but it also, he later stated by the adoption of resolution.
Good. I remember him saying it, so I'm sorry
Oh, you're
for
good.
interrupting.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Mr. Foy?
Okay. Let's see here. I'd like to start out by just making a clarifying statement on the record. Tonight, I'm going to be speaking, or in this agenda, I'm going to be speaking in reference in a subdivision in town called the Landing at Angels Glen. The town of Stokesdale has another subdivision in town called Angels Glen. They're not too far from each other, but I say that because I'm a resident of Angels Glen. Angels Glen and the Landing at Angels Glen, they share an Angels Glen commonality in the name, but there's no financial connection between those two entities. And I say that because it'll make more sense as I talk on this. The bottom line is I'm not tied to their homeowners association, and I have no financial interest in that subdivision. That clarifying statement will make probably more sense as we get into this. I've got a confession to make. During the last council meeting, I was on vacation with my family, and we're very blessed and had a good time. And these guys here, did as always, do an incredible job, and just a real unique, let's just call it unique situation, was presented to the town council by the HOA president. In the 2 weeks leading up to that meeting, which was on July the 9th, either the HOA or an individual property owner that lived on Hellison Court reported that there was standing water in a suspected town water leak on one of the roads there. Our guys investigated it, and we looked at it and did not think it was, the leak was caused by the town's water system. A little time passed. The HOA and/or a property owner on Hellison Court contacted the town hall. We gave it a second look and still felt that was not a leak caused by our water system. With that, the HOA felt like they had the information they needed to still fix a problem that they had. And that was that there was a water leak on Hellison Court that continued to appear to worsen over time and bubble up, if you will. So, I think the HOA acted properly, as they stated in their memo to us, to proceed in correcting what they thought was their issue at the time. Come to find out, unfortunately, it was our water leak. Everything was repaired, but there was a $7,208 bill that was incurred by the homeowners association. It was presented to the town council in the last town council meeting during public comments. It wasn't an agenda item. and the gentleman who is the HOA president asked for the town to participate in some of the reimbursement. You know, I think the town council came to a very reasonable, given the newness of everything and the request, came to a reasonable, I'll meet you halfway response, and that we reimbursed the HOA $3,604, which was half the amount. But the HOA, via their president, has sent a letter requesting the full amount, giving all the conditions surrounding around, you know, this individual event. Very rare, very unique. The bottom line is the right thing to do is to reimburse this HOA $3,604 additional money to cover, to make them whole for what they had to pay, you know, for what was an issue in the water system, for an issue that we stated twice that was not our issue. So I do think it's very practical. I like the way the letter is written, specified amounts are given. That certainly makes things easier for Kim and the auditor. I'm going to make a motion that the town of Stokesdale reimburse the Homeownership Association of the Landing at Angels Glen $3,604 due to the water line leak that occurred on Hellison Court. But this money,
An additional 3604.
an additional 3604. The first 3604 was approved last meeting, and you know, and I could have, hindsight is 20/20, and that's what I have here. You know, had I been here, you know, I could have seen any number that would have been appropriate from zero to the full amount. But you know, after reading internal documents, talking to residents, and just using a practical, good, common business sense of doing the right thing, this is the right thing to do.
I'll second the motion to get it on the floor.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
All right, guys, I've stretched as far as I can on this one. I voted for half half of their request based on a belief that some comedy of errors occurred between multiple people and multiple entities, and it kind of boiled down to, I really don't know what happened. But it dawned on me after I voted for that I may have been violating General Statute 159-28, which is the Local Government Budget and Fiscal Control Act, you know, the pre-audit certification requirements. I don't know. But I did some digging. The North Carolina Constitution under Section 2, Paragraph 1 of Article 5 mandates public money for a public purpose. Section 32 of Article 1 excludes any emoluments, which amounts to gifts. So my question to the board is, what is this public money that we're giving them? What did it buy the water system? What did it buy the town of Stokesdale? Because the bill for the repair from A&D Enterprises was $5,087.71, based on an invoice dated 7/16/26, or received 7/16/26. So that's my question.
Well, Tim, if we had done it right the first time, or even the second time, this never would have come up. And that $5,087 you referenced by A&D Enterprises, they just would have fixed the problem and everything would have been good. We had a chance to evaluate, and we missed it, and we had a chance to evaluate again, and we missed it again. You know, this is not a gift. This is not a gift.
What is this buying?
What is it buying? It's buying just simply doing the right thing. I mean, this is the right thing to do.
Chuck?
Well,
Do you,
I guess it's buying an estimate of repair that we would have paid for either, anyway. I mean, they got I don't really agree with it, but they did get an estimate. And then the guy dug down, he saw what it was, they realized it was ours, and he stopped. So, I mean, technically, it's an estimate of what the problem is and a confirmation of what the problem was.
HOAs aren't as well versed on what a reasonable cost for a utility repair is as the utility is itself. So I think we need to recognize that.
Well, maybe.
And I think we also need to recognize that the DOT does not, own those roads in that subdivision yet. So fixing that road and what was believed to be an imminent, a safety concern in a sinkhole, I believe they acted well within reason. Do I look at it and say, wow, they paid a lot of money? Well, yeah, I do. But how can you expect them to know what the utility itself knows and have relationships with the contractors, that we have? This is a very unique situation, like I say, and I think we have an opportunity to do the right thing and make them whole.
Well, with that, and I'm not unsympathetic to these folks in this neighborhood. I don't know anybody there in a way that makes it easy, because I'm impartial as far as that goes. But what about the next time? How do we stop this going forward if another neighborhood decides to dig up the shoulder of the road looking for whatever? I mean, are we gonna keep paying these bills?
It depends. If another neighborhood did that without contacting the town council first, or one time, or even twice, then it's a different story. It's a completely different story. But looking at the story, holistically, in full.
But they didn't contact the town council.
They contacted the town staff. The town staff contacted utility contractors. If they contacted me, I'd say, here's Robbie's number.
Well, I don't wanna, it's 9:25. If y'all got your mind made up on this, I just felt like I needed to point those two things out.
I ain't made my mind up yet. Chuck, are we doing anything out of bounds?
No, I mean, the town has an enterprise, so this is part of its water enterprise that the town has. And so sovereign immunity, for example, doesn't apply when you're talking about an enterprise for which the town collects money. And essentially, we have a contract with all our users saying, we will provide you with water service through our facilities. And as a matter of contract, the town has exposure to pay costs they incurred repairing our system or identifying the breach in our system. With regard to what to do in the future, I would say we could adopt a policy to say, if we suspect a problem, then you all use our vendors, and not, because part of the problem was they went out and found their own vendor that somebody in the HOA knew, who may have gouged them and now gouging us, but they didn't know. They didn't have access to our vendors. They didn't know who our vendors were. So we could adopt a policy in the future to say we want them to use our vendors.
But this case right here, you're saying, in your opinion, we're not doing anything wrong if we do that.
That's right. I think we're within
Kim,
bounds.
Are we doing anything as far as pre-audit certification that's not correct?
No, it was done.
And it was done correct before with a vote of council.
That's correct.
Okay,
Yes.
so,
That was, yes.
and that's from our finance officer and that's from our
Well,
attorney.
the debt came before the check.
Tim, isn't it that way with any water leak? If it was ours and we would have done things right and fixed it? I mean, the check always comes after the service.
No,
It doesn't matter if we're paying to have the grass mowed or.
We have a system for approving emergency repairs on our water system.
We do, but we didn't do it.
We did do it. I'm the one that went and looked at it. I wrote an email to Kim that she should have,
Tim, if we did it.
Mr. Landers did.
Tim, if we did it, we wouldn't be having this conversation for the second meeting in a row.
Mr. Foy, I was called that particular morning and said, hey, we got a leak out the middle of the road on Ellison Court. And, Mr. Landers has approved a repair. Will you also approve a repair? And I said, well, hold on, I'll run by there and have a look at it. And subsequently, I sent an email to approve that repair, just like I've done before. Whatever transpired before that, I have no idea. I'm not getting involved with the HOA and the HOA's plumber and who said what, and I don't know what went on. I really don't. But I just, again, I've stretched as far as I'm going to on as far as my vote goes.
And fair enough, and again, my
know-
hindsight was 20/20 on the matter, and I did a little research on my own, including pulling town records of conversation that occurred, so, I didn't accept everything at face value on this. Everything that I've said tonight, as far as how the events transpired, are supported by our town's records.
Well, that,
It's an unfortunate and unique situation, but it happened. I mean, how do we make it right? That's what I'm focused on. I think, we've already, the attorney's already, Chuck's already said that everything's proper on the legal side.
I don't see where the town had any obligation anywhere along the way there. We were addressing the problem. As far as I know, the staff was taking all incoming phone calls from those complaining and attempting to solve the problem. Beyond that, I don't know up to the point where they called me. I can't speak for what transpired before that. I'm fine, guys. I'm just, I've already stretched as far as I'm going to, voting to give them half of it.
Have I made a motion?
Yeah, it's been
Yes,
seconded.
and Jim
Yeah.
seconded it.
I would like to just make a point of order on this. I think it was important to note that the original request did not come in as a demand for the whole thing. It was a, what can you do to help us? So that's kind of the charge that we took back with a discussion, and we had very limited, but we didn't want to delay it, so we made a vote. And I just want to say it's very unfortunate that, those that went out on social media and made posts and degraded the staff in the town. I think it's unfair. I mean, we acted as reasonable as we could. If we had identified the water leak as ours, we would have fixed it. No question. We fix water leaks every day. Every time they come up, we fix them. It wasn't something we were trying to avoid to fix. We just didn't feel it was ours, and we made a judgment call, and we used our best expert that we have to make that call. Again, it's unfortunate, and my personal feeling is I think they overstepped their bounds by digging the street up without making another call and another call until they just had. I think they needed to demand, y'all need to come out and fix this. I think it. I get the point that they called twice, but I think when the street was bubbling up, and I'm not sure at what point the street bubbled up in relation to the last call, but I just feel that they probably should have made another call. And like I said, those that made the social media post didn't help their cause through this process.
Well,
it is what it is, and we're gonna move forward and try to create a policy to repair, to keep this from happening again. So I'm ready to vote. I just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah. And the social media post may have been posted under an alias. Who knows? A lot of keyboard warriors, but at the same time, we got to be, cognizant of everybody's First Amendment right to speak out against government. And at the end of the day, in my opinion, I think government needed a little redirecting to do the full right thing. But I do acknowledge, and I did say, I do acknowledge that what the request was not for the full amount. It was for
No,
help.
absolutely, and that was not.
And meeting in the middle is not unreasonable in the absence of a formal request. But that's where we are tonight. We have it, and let's vote, like you said.
Well, what we did, and I'm partially responsible for that. I wanted to get it done. I mean, Tim said, let's wait till we get the bill and all this, and maybe we should have listened to that. But they acted like they wanted some type of satisfaction that night. And we did say, I mean, heck, we could have been zero, we could have been all over, we could have been all over the place. I mean, it's one of those things, they'd have done, if we'd have known they was gonna dig the road up, maybe you might have said something there, but who knows? I mean, it is what it is. I don't like it. I don't like that this situation even happened. I don't quite understand, but, people make mistakes. I don't care how good you are at something, you can make a mistake. And I always, when I see a leak, I always think about sinkholes. I seen a picture of one of the news things the other day about a sinkhole. And,
Yeah, the one
you
in
know, and I
Greensboro.
could see that maybe they were thinking about a sinkhole. I think they said something about the kids riding bicycles and things like that. I mean, but I could see why they did it and everything. And, I think maybe it's a little bit off procedure. But, you know, I did that part. I also didn't like the social media post, but that's okay. And that's easy to do. That's what, I mean, that's kind of something people do. And,
Well, that's
it
today's
don't, I'm not
world.
gonna,
But I do
I'm not
think
gonna
that-
affect it because a couple of people, you know, got ugly. They were mad because they weren't spending money, you know. In a way, I don't blame them. So some people handle it better than others.
Well, I do think it's important that we, as a council, put together a procedure to try to nip this in the bud.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it doesn't reoccur.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
it
not a
takes-
procedure I'm gonna help with, but yeah, I'm more in favor of doing it right the first time.
I mean, as far as, you know, how many times are they gonna report it before we actually, you know, take a scoop to it? If, you know, and who's going to do that and that kind of thing.
I
So,
just don't think Mr. Wagner should have to tell people, don't start digging the road up. I just don't think that's just kind of understood.
Well, I mean, we can,
But they own the road, Tim.
I got that part where it hadn't been turned over to state maintenance. I do. I hear you about that. And, you know, this plumber is charging more to cut asphalt and dig a hole than our utility contractor's getting for doing a repair and putting the asphalt back.
No, no
And
doubt.
so
about
that is, it's not reasonable. And then beyond that, I don't know what's been said on social media. That's one reason why I don't use it. So, you know,
Well,
I'm not basing my decision on anything
Tim, I
on
think you
social
need
media.
to ask yourself,
Well,
was-
hold on a second, buddy. I'm just saying that let's just say this bill was $17,000. At some point, something becomes unreasonable. And this is not very reasonable for the work performed in the first place. And this bill is being passed on to us that we shouldn't be having to pay in the first place. So, you know, we got a motion. I'm ready to vote.
I do agree that the bill was high. Given the circumstances, the action of the board to correct the problem was reasonable, given the circumstances that the board was dealing with. When do I vote?
ready? Okay, I'll call a question and we'll go ahead and vote. Mr. Rigsby?
Aye.
Mr. Foy?
Aye.
Mr. Landreth?
Aye.
And Mr. Jones?
I'm nay.
I am aye. Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
Motion to adjourn.
Well, actually, we have public comments from the floor. There being none, any council comments?
No, just, other than everybody be safe, school starting back, and, I noticed they've done some additional, modifications to the exit lane and the entrance lane up here, so, should be interesting to see how this process works. I also saw they put a no turn on red up here.
Yeah,
Just
that's been
everybody
up
needs to notice that.
I'd like to thank Sheriff Page and candidate for District 26 Senate seat. And thank you to Sheriff Page, Sam, for coming and joining us tonight. I also like to give a shout out, you know, concerning the boil water notice. To reiterate what T was saying earlier with the Guilford County Emergency Services, led by Tommy Sluter and Travis, I'm sorry I don't have his last name, you know, and their response time delivering the water to the town of Stokesdale. I mean, I've waited for pizzas longer than we had to wait for that. It was really quite remarkable. So big thanks to those guys for coming through on a Friday afternoon when, you know, everybody wanted to be on the golf course, but those guys were out, you know, boots on the ground and helping our folks out in town. So certainly appreciate that. So next thing is I want to thank one of the town's utility contractors, A&D Enterprise. Over the last 6 weeks, I think they've done a great job addressing 2 water leaks, but in addition, they have started doing a lot more 811 locates than they've used to, and to the best of my knowledge, they're very responsible, and I'm very appreciative for the work, the important work they do to the town. As always, thank you to the folks that are here tonight. Thank you to the Guilford County Sheriff Department for not only being here, but for staying here. Town staff, Gary, Robbie, I hate listing names, but it had to do with the water, the Forsyth County water issue, because I'll forget somebody. Aaron Babson, so many folks, and that was a new one for us, to say the least, But having all, said that, what went on in the city of Winston-Salem, I'd like to give my hats off to those guys too, for their communication with Robbie. But they got a heck of a water system over there. That water main break, it busted, it happened. Unfortunately, they do. But to have something fixed, in roughly 3 days time that was that far, or that hard to access at 40 feet under the ground, is quite remarkable. But what it also shows is the redundancy that is built into their system. When most of our water likely comes from that treatment plant over there near Winston-Salem State, where this happened. But they have other treatment plants within the facility. So when the water, was no longer coming to that quadrant, so to speak, of the Winston-Salem Forsyth County water utility, it took a while, but the water from other areas, backfilled the pipe. And all things considered, it could have been a whole lot worse. And a lot of that credit goes to Courtney Driver and Bill Brewer and their staffs at Winston-Salem Forsyth County Utilities, and for the system they have, the redundancies they have in place. And we're extremely, extremely fortunate to be able to purchase water from them. So that's all I have. And lastly, as always, thanks to my colleagues. And back to school here in a couple weeks. Everybody, please be mindful of that. Please be safe out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Foy. Anything?
Well, I too would like to thank the deputy for being here. We might have had to subdue Bill Greco on our loaning case, but I think it worked out pretty good. But hey, I'm just, I'm joking around, but it is nice to see you sit there, because you don't never know these days. And it's great to have you. Congratulations for your promotion and everything. Another thing I'd like to thank, baseball season started up, and we got a lot of little league coaches out there that spend their time, with our children and everything, softball. And I'd like to thank all the coaches. I've got grandchildren. I got 4 of them, I guess, playing stuff now. And, somebody spending their time to do that with them, and their sponsors and things. I'd like to thank all those folks in the community. That's what makes these communities around here, great. And I'd like to thank them. I'd also, of course, I thank staff. You guys do a great job. Our council, we take care of our water system, which I've said just a little bit ago was our most important thing that we do. I feel like that we have a great committee, a land use committee that we've been working on. Good group of people. We're working on that right now, and we should be finished in a couple of years. and about 50 or 60 more meetings. But it's a great group of people, and I'm really it's a privilege to work with everybody, and even our great attorney over there he's keeping us out of jail. So
Night ain't over yet.
yeah, Tim.
I would like to echo everybody else's concerns about school starting. Watch out for the kids, stop for the school buses. There's so many people are reckless on the road. They're putting on makeup, eating a bowl of cereal, driving with their knees while they're on the phone, and it's scary out there sometimes. So just like to remind everybody to watch out for the kids. And, we just proved that you can run out of water, and the best rescue is self-rescue. And everybody can go to ready.gov and get advice about how much water to store. What I have pulled up is 1 gallon of water per day per person, and a recommendation that they have at least 3 days' worth to as much as a 2 week supply. So the town of Stokesdale will do what we can if we run out of water again, but I'm pretty sure that the town staff and the town council members cannot take water to everybody that could possibly need it. And would like to remind everybody to store a little water up in case an emergency occurs again. And I'll wish everybody a happy Labor Day when it gets here.
Mr. Mayor, could I come back for just a second?
Yes, sir.
One home group of people that I'd like to thank is the teachers up here at Stokesdale. Everybody's getting ready to start back to school. And these teachers, I guess, have to get up about 5:30 every morning with the roosters, you know. And they do a great job. They're up there working now. And we are lucky and fortunate. I hope that the new Northwest Middle School will be as good as our Stokesdale school. My mother attended Stokesdale in the 40s, and then I attended, and my kids attended, well, my wife's been working there forever. I don't know how many years, but it's a great school, and we're fortunate to live in a town and have a good school like that. So, sorry, I jumped back out of place.
Oh, you're good. You're good. And I would just again like to express our appreciation to all those who stayed for the end of the meeting, and thank you for your attendance. We appreciate your involvement. And again, you know, I can't say it enough. It's been spoken to. I did my part a little bit earlier, but when you make lemonade out of a lemon, it works. And it was, you know, wasn't anything pleasurable about it, but it was a necessary deal. And just the teamwork that was displayed during that water situation was great. And it was people that didn't have to do it. It was people that wanted to do it, and in the best interest of our town. And it's very rewarding to be a part of that. To tag along with Mr. Jones with regard to the water supply, the water that we gave out that was supplied to us from Guilford County actually is boxed rather than bottled, and it actually has a shelf life of between 6 and 8 years. So if you did get some, you can keep it for several years. And we still have a few cases left out there. But again, very thankful to Tommy and Travis and their guys that on that Friday afternoon answered the call. And not everybody does that. So thank you, folks. With that, I'm going to move that we move into closed session tonight in accordance with North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A3. The purpose of the closed session is to consult with an attorney employed or retained by the public body in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege between attorney and the public body, which privilege is hereby acknowledged. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? We'll vote. Mr. Rigsby?
Aye.
Mr. Foy?
Aye.
Mr. Landreth?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
I'm out.
And I am aye. Okey dokey.
I'll move that we resume an open session.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We are still there in open session, so catching up here.
You're good, Mr. Mayor. You may-
I believe we just have announcements. They're on here too. Got it. Okay, thank you, Derek. All righty, the following announcements. Regular Town Planning Board meeting is scheduled for August the 27th, 2026, in this room at 7 o'clock. Special note, on September the 7th, 2026, Stokesdale Town Hall building will be closed in observance of Labor Day. On September the 8th, the regular Town Board of Adjustment meeting is scheduled for 7 o'clock PM in this room. And on September the 10th, 2026, the regular Town Council meeting is scheduled for 7 o'clock in this room. That being said, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Excellent.
Well, Chuck, hopefully we didn't keep you too late.
No, I'll be fine.
You'll be safe.
Yeah, 10, before 10:30.
Oh, is it leaving? Yeah.
Got water
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you do?
but that's a,
I do, yes.
Okay, I have a customer.
deputy said
Unis over
that,
Unis are.
well, you were there where you're standing, you could put